Hello. We'll be starting in 1 second. Set for Threads beta. I'm on Threads. What's going on? All right, 1 second. 1 second. Oh. Oy, good enough. Good enough. All right. Oh. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Oh no, not okay. I need my. You have my email up.
Yeah, hopefully I've got all muscle memory here with the soundboard because I am scatterbrained right now.
Where is my email? I'm sorry, guys. We will start 1 second, I promise. Okay, now we're ready. 3, 2, 1. GoNintendo Podcast, episode 955, the Flittle Podcast. Hey, thank you. Flittle's toes levitate about half an inch above the ground because of the psychic power emitted from the frills on the Pokemon's belly. It's 0.08 inches tall. It's 3.3 pounds. Male and female. Its category is frill. Abilities include Frisk. When it enters a battle, the Pokemon can check an opposing Pokemon's held item. And Anticipation. The Pokemon can sense an opposing Pokemon's dangerous moves. That is the end of the Pokemon section. Hello, oh God. Oh man, I hit the wrong.
Great story.
I hit the wrong button. For those live, you already know what's going on. For audio listeners only, we are recording on Friday at noon 30, which is not the usual day or time we record, but holiday time and things are going on for people, and we're fitting in the show where we can.
Yeah, thanks for bearing with us, and thank you, RMC, for changing the time. Now I feel kind of bad. It's like a bad, me for trading me for no Nicky Hill and no Mom Brain. Like,
Well, Nicky Hill, as you know, will be here. He should be here momentarily. Mom Brain, I don't think will be here. So be prepared. If you're only here for music, there will not be music as far as I know. No music. But it's the holiday season. You got friends and family around. You got obligations. I completely understand. It's no problem at all. But yes, my normal day on GoNintendo starts at 12:30. So I woke up a little earlier than usual today. So I'm like completely out of it. So I apologize in advance.
I grew up here. I live here.
But we'll see what I can do. I'm here. Hello, me. Hi. How are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm all right. Deux is here.
Uku.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Nicky Hill will be here. He is en route. Last we heard from him, he said he would be here at 12:35. It's 12:34, so we'll see what happens.
Hell yeah.
And Mom Brain is working. Of course, Josh Grobot is here. Hell yeah. Josh, how are you doing?
A big hello to my fans.
Josh, you got any big holiday plans since this is our show before Christmas? Hanging and banging with
We
family?
just have to wait and
Ooh, a man of many secrets. I understand. Another guy that I'm sure has big holiday plans. George.
Not at all.
Hey, come on, get into the spirit.
George, I mean, you gotta love Christmas, right, George? It's got green as one of the colors. I know it's not lime green, but it could be.
It's true. I do love Christmas because limes are green.
That's it. That's it. Well, I hope whatever you're doing, George, you have a lovely Christmas. Same to you, Josh, and of course, Deux as well. Our listeners.
Thank you.
Let me hop in the Discord to see who's here at this random time. my god, so sorry. Hello, Nightwind, and Radical Defect, and Ice Dilbert, and Red Souza, and Granimus, and Drake, and Vachi, and Sneaker Hacks, and whoever else is in there. Gecko Kitsune, thank you so much for joining us today at this random time. What is this? Cave Story create. Oh, look at this. It's the 20th anniversary of Cave Story. My goodness, really?
Wow.
I can't believe that.
That'll make you feel older.
That was there. There he is. Oh, there she is. It's Mom Brain. Oh my God.
Hey.
Mom Brain. You did it. You did it, Mom Brain. It is hot winter break for you. It's finally over.
Oh man, till January 2nd.
Oh my God, it's so much time.
So much time.
What are you gonna do with yourself?
Well, first I'm gonna take a fat nap. I love you all, but
Not what I thought you were gonna
I
say.
require a nap.
Please into the microphone.
I require a fat nap.
And then snacks, probably.
Thank you. Yes, there will be snacks. And that's about it.
Well, thanks for stopping in for a minute. Remember, no music today. Blame Mom Brain, not my fault.
Yep, blame my fat nap. Oh my God.
Oh,
Is it Santa?
it's I hear rustling.
Well, thank you, Mom Brain. Thanks for stopping in. That's right,
Thank
Drake.
you.
Today's the day. Mariah Carey has thawed out in Fortnite. She's in there. It's the beginning of Winterfest in Fortnite. So if you are a Fortnite player, you should be able to go to the lodge and get your free gift today. And there's a Snoop Dogg skin, and there he is. It's Nicky. She's not coming back. She's taking a fat nap in her quotes, or in her words. She just got home. Oh
How
boy!
about it?
Wow. Well, you're gonna have to rub my leg under the table and secretly tell me I'm doing a good job.
Just the leg?
All three of them, yes.
To start,
Nicky Hill is here. Hi, Nicky. How are you?
No. I'm good.
You don't sound like it.
I just don't know how to get anywhere.
Well, you made it
Yeah.
here, so I would argue differently.
I got here late. I've been working on getting here all morning and I still get here late.
hey man.
I mean, it's
you-
8 minutes.
You were close. You were close, and it's pretty good now. But
According to
before,
outside,
it was worse.
it's on fire. Looks like it's out on fire out there. You know, the old dryer vent. Um.
Hellfire and brimstone.
Oh my God, is that who's here? Is Kane's here? I guess Kane would love Christmas because Yule log and fire, and he just sits and
Candy
stares at
cane?
it. Candy. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's Candy Cane.
That's why he calls himself that. I don't know if you knew
Oh,
that.
I never knew that. I knew he was Dr. Isaac Yankum before, but I didn't know he was Candy Cane.
Yeah, okay, so here's the here's the story. He was really into candy canes as a child,
Mhm.
got a lot of cavities, then vowed to pull out people's teeth because of what he went through as a
Okay.
child, and then came back around
Respectable.
when he got, like, I guess porcelain teeth or something. He was like, now I can have as many candy canes as I want, so much so that I'll change my name to Kane.
I thought there was going to be like something where he ate candy canes. They ruined his teeth. He fixed his own teeth, and he wanted to help out kids who had the same trouble, and ended up like gassing a kid too much and killed him or something. And then like he turned dark and turned into candy cane. But
Wow, that is what happened.
your story's your story's way nicer. But we'll just have to ask the man himself. From Parts Unknown. No, not a 5-hour pod this week. I have a feeling it's going to be a shorter pod, but we'll see where it goes. Who knows? Who knows, really?
Why not?
Sure, why not? So yeah, the one thing we can do before we get into the regular news, well, there's two things. One of our friends was talking to us yesterday about Dr. Pepper eggnog, as in you mix eggnog and Dr. Pepper. It's not something they're selling, but I wanted to get some
Like
eggnog.
that
Or,
would curdle or something. Like
I don't know. We got to try it.
And now, is this just a TikTok that's messing with us, or is
he's a
this real?
friend. So this came from a friend of his.
Well, it was an Instagram Reels video from a friend.
Oh,
But yeah, I didn't have the the chance to go out and get the Dr. Pepper, but I want to try it. But I wanted to talk to you guys about it to see what you think. I mean, I'm not a big fan of eggnog to begin with.
It's probably like a what are those? It's like an Italian soda or something. What are those things where it's like where they mix
What's that called? Egg something, right?
something, egg something.
What is that thing called?
I don't think there's egg in it though. It's just milk and soda or something. I don't know.
Egg cream?
Egg
Yeah,
cream.
maybe
There
there is
you
egg
go.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's one.
It doesn't sound like it would be. I mean, it doesn't sound that appealing,
Dr.
but
Petter.
I feel like with the flavors of Dr. Pepper, I think it could complement an eggnog. But
Oh, Dr. Petter. Oh, we saw that ice silver. We saw it. It said Dr. Petter in
It
there.
also says it's edited, so like you have proof. There's a paper trail digitally.
Well, just because it says it's edited, we unless we saw it, we wouldn't know what was edited. But we both saw Dr. Petter. Dr. Petter got put in jail for a long time, and you could probably guess why. But ice silver says you didn't see anything. Dr. Heavy Petter says Nightwing. Do they make Cadbury cream eggnog? Oh my! Now see, again, I'm not that big of an
sugar.
eggnog fan, but I would be all over that. I love I love Cadbury cream eggs. Yeah,
Dr. Cadbury.
you said that and looked at me like you're gonna crap yourself.
Oh, Taco Bell breakfast strikes again.
I don't know what he's looking at. But yes, I wanted to do it, but I didn't have time to get the Dr. Pepper. I only learned about this thing yesterday, and next week's show is going to be after Christmas, so it doesn't count. You don't drink eggnog after Christmas. Nobody's like, New Year's, let's have some eggnog. That's over. I don't know what you drink on New Year's besides alcohol, but it's over. So you're hearing it
Tasty.
now. So if you want to, you can try it, and please drop it in the Discord if you do try, because I want to know what you think of it.
Delicious.
And then one other thing that we will talk about before we get into the regular news, but this is actually Nintendo related, as Deux knows because we've talked about it. Nintendo did their year in review, recap that you can get by logging in with your Nintendo account. It gives you the breakdown. So I thought we could talk about that.
Cool.
Well, wasn't there also something you wanted to talk? Oh, PlayStation. You wanted to do PlayStation.
Yeah, we could. I mean, we could do that too.
I never got mine.
You never did?
Nope.
That stinks. I wonder why.
Nope, never did. They didn't bother to email, probably because I hardly play on the PlayStation. But
Yeah, they didn't want to draw
something.
attention to the fact
Yeah,
that you
right.
don't play anything.
I should have got something, but I didn't. So yeah, we could do that. When you have yours ready, you let me know, and then we'll jump into it.
Okay, yeah, let me look in.
And I guess we'll tell Nicky Hill whenever he decides to join the show again.
Show us.
So yeah, you can go to Nintendo.com. One of their top features right now is the link to the 2024 year in review, and you can get all the details on how your year with the Switch went.
Hey.
Oh, we stole some candy.
Yep.
We're doing the Switch year in review, Nicky Hill.
I didn't open mine, but I can tell you I didn't play much.
Well, we're gonna.
You know what I
find
got
out.
a year in review for this today? Dunkin' Donuts.
They do a year in review,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, which I find to be a little ridiculous. 'cause
How
it's
was your
like-
year?
It was uneventful.
Man, that's kind of terrible if you get the Dunkin' thing and it's like
They probably do it for
you
like
ate this
Starbucks,
many
too.
calories this year and you had this much sugar.
No,
and you're
it's
like,
just
oh,
about
God.
like the
Yeah, right.
visits and the points
Mm.
that you accumulated, which like,
See, that makes you feel good about it. But if they told you how much money you spent,
well, that's the thing.
then
yeah.
you'd be like, "Holy cow! I
Mhm.
gotta."
Although
maybe cut this
my
out.
visits were relatively low, because they have those things where it's like if you visit 12 times in a month, you get like your boosted points, or like you get extra points for every visit then.
Mm.
And I never hit that, which I feel good about, but I whatever.
So this year, according to my Switch review, I started off the year with Unsighted, which is, top down, Zelda-esque old school. I don't know what you want to call it, hack and slash. I started out, my first Switch game this year was on January 3rd, Unsighted.
You got a
Oh.
late start.
I
know.
I didn't need no top-down Zelda ripoff. I played the real thing. January 1st, 2024. I played the Game Boy Advance,
Wow.
and there's even a screenshot of me playing. Which one did I play? Not the Oracle of Ages, but Oracle of Seasons.
Game Boy
Is that
Color.
that's
You
not
were
really a
Game Boy
screenshot
Color.
of you playing.
Game Boy Color. Thank you.
It's a screenshot of the game.
Yeah.
The game.
The game.
Nikki?
No, I did that.
Oh, it's January 3rd for me as well. Kicked off 2024, the year of our Lord 2024, with Super Mario Wonder.
Oh.
It came out that long ago?
And
God, that's crazy.
I think it came out last year.
Yeah.
Because I gave it as gifts last year.
That's
Amazing.
nuts.
And I don't think I played it since.
Moving on. I played 45 Switch games this year for a total of 161 hours.
Oh man.
What have we got in here? Contra, Euphoria 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Alyssa, Bakaru, Another Code, Splatoon 3, Super Monkey Ball, Prince of Persia, Echo Generation, Arco. The list goes on and on. Do?
I played 31 games for 608 hours.
Ooh, I beat you in games. You beat me in hours. You're the better
Yeah.
player.
Yeah, I'm sure that's it. Yeah, but it looks like Animal Crossing and things like that. We can go. I'll tell you the rest as we go down.
Nikki?
How many hours did you play? 600?
608.
I played 317 games for 9 hours.
Wow. Wow.
I played
That's
9
not true.
games,
Oh.
317 hours.
Oh.
Oh.
So, Clubhouse game?
Probably.
All right. Most played games of 2024. Let's make it exciting and start with 3 and go down to 1. My number 3 top played game, Mario and Luigi Brothership with 13 hours. So obviously that's going to go much higher. I'm playing right now. Number 2, 1000 Times Resist with 13 hours on that as well. So that's how long it took me to finish the game. And the top game of the year for me in terms of most played is Zelda Echoes of Wisdom at 24 hours.
Wow. Man, you're efficient. My third most played game at 42 hours was The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. So I was, who knows what I was doing for those extra 20
Having a great
hours
time.
walking around.
Wait, how much was it? 41?
42 hours.
I'm just going to be nosy and see what like the average playtime is.
Oh,
I got no idea.
That'll make me feel embarrassed. Second most played game was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate at 58 hours. And number 1 was Animal Crossing New Horizons at 341 hours.
According to the AI overview from Google, it says Echoes of Wisdom, you can expect to complete the game in around 15 to 20 hours. If you want a more complete experience with side quests and all that, 20 to 25. And for completionists aiming to discover every echo, blah, 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 it can extend to 30 plus hours or even upwards of 40 hours. So there you go.
I'm on the high side of that, and I didn't even unlock everything.
But
it was fun to play.
I was going to say, you had fun the whole time. That's all that matters.
It was very fun.
Nikki?
Hi. Glad to be here. Oh. My third most played was Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown with 42 hours.
Very nice.
My second is Tetris Effect Connected with 52 hours.
Oh, yes. We like to hear it.
Clubhouse Games, which is really just solitaire at 187 hours.
Wow.
Not bad.
That is a solitaire fiend. Your gaming style, your top action is... your top genre is action, according to this, for 45%. I guess because it's weighting that through Zelda, because, Mario and Luigi is RPG, and that's at 12%. And adventure is 27% for me, so that obviously plays into Zelda as well. Blah, 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 blah. But my top genre is action. Do?
My top genre is character-driven.
I guess Animal Crossing is character-driven.
It has to be, because that's what I put the most time into.
Yeah.
So 45% character-driven, 24 and 23% respectively for action and then adventure.
So your Zelda and stuff, yeah.
Yep. And then puzzle, card game, and Go Shogi are 5% and less.
Nicky?
My top genre is puzzle. Oh,
I'm
no, that's
not surprised.
my second. It's my second genre, or it's puzzle slash complete isolation and loneliness. That's my
I
top.
don't think Nintendo would say that in the year-end wrap-up.
Well, read it. Oh,
I saw it. It didn't say
they
it.
just edited it.
They just edited it.
My second is card game, which I would still think is probably first if I put 187 hours into solitaire, but whatever. And what is shogi?
It's Othello.
Shogi to me, Rachel.
Isn't that what shogi is?
What?
I said Othello. Am I wrong?
I mean, that's a pretty specific genre.
Shogi, strategy
Shogi.
board game for 2 players. It's not Othello.
It's not something that
Also
I played.
known as Japanese chess.
It's not. I haven't played that, so I don't know why I had 16%. 16 and board game, like all these things. I played Clubhouse games.
Okay,
that's 100%.
All right.
100%.
Shogi is a Japanese strategy game that translates to general's board game. There you go.
Oh dear.
Those generals, they know how to have fun.
All right. My most played month is November. I put in 32 hours in November.
That was Echoes of Wisdom, I imagine.
Yeah, definitely. And October was right behind it with 26 hours. So
I played January the most, 113 hours played in January. So I was really into that.
man, started off the year very strong. Well, you were doing Zelda and other stuff.
In November, I played 2 hours. So there's I guess maybe in August I put away the Tetris and the solitaire because September, October, and November was 5 hours, 5 hours, and 2 hours. But January was my most played month with 61 hours.
Both you guys had a strong January.
Strong Jans.
What can I? Oh, never mind. Oh, I didn't even look at this. If you swipe over, you can get a most played game that month.
Yeah, solitaire.
My January
Solitaire,
was GBA stuff. I was playing a whole bunch of GBA stuff. Look at that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
September, October, for me, were Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. November is Mario and Luigi Brothers Ship. Here comes the... Oh, yeah. Guys, what did you pick as your game of the year?
Well, favorite game of 2020, right?
Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Yeah, pick your favorite game.
Because they're not games that have necessarily come out this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had a lot of good games on my list. I want to just take a look at them real quick here. Yeah, Prince of Persia was on there. I had a lot of fun with Splintered Fate. As you know, Echoes of Wisdom was on there. Suika game was on there. Vampire Survivors, Another Code, the Legend of Zelda for Game Boy. Animal Well was on there. So like a bunch of things were here, and I chose 1000 Times Resist.
That's what I chose. That's my favorite game of the year, which is of no surprise to anyone listening to this show, I'm sure, but without a doubt, my favorite game of the year because it is my favorite game in general. Number one favorite game. Nicky, your favorite game of 2024?
I think I'll just go with Tetris Effect Connected.
Well, I mean, you can't go wrong with Tetris, and that is an excellent version of Tetris. You got to try Tetris Forever in 2025.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Yes.
Maybe I will.
And that is our recap for our 2024 with Switch. Nintendo says, thanks for playing. And you can get yourself a free printable calendar down at the bottom, too, if you want. Because as Nintendo knows, we all have access to printers, and everybody loves printing things because it's so easy. We could just go into it since you have yours, and you're the only one. If you want to talk about your PlayStation recap for the year.
Yeah, let me just try to sign in here. I should have had all this ready. I'm sorry about that.
Sony felt I wasn't worthy of getting a recap, so I didn't. And I don't know my PlayStation login information off the top of my head, so yeah, I can't get it.
Man, that's such a bummer.
Don't look at this screen. I'm going to try to do music this week, but No promises.
Nicky Hill is trying to do music. You heard it here first. There will be music this episode.
Well, I think we know how
it's a
this
Christmas
is.
miracle.
I think I just signed into my Sony PlayStation account year-end review here, and I think we know how this is going to go.
Fortnite.
Yeah. So top 5 games. Let's start with the 5th. Believe it or not, Cyberpunk. 32 hours in Cyberpunk.
Wow.
Dead Island 2 for number 4, 49 hours. I thought that was going to be my number 2, to be honest. I can't believe that that I played in 3rd place Final Fantasy VII Rebirth even more, 68 hours. In 2nd place,
with it.
look at this, 1 more hour, 69 hours. Hogwarts Legacy.
You got your money's worth out of that one.
So, well, think about that. Like, I did almost everything you could do in Hogwarts Legacy. I was only 2/3 of the way through Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and there's only a 1 hour difference there. So I didn't realize how much time I had spent in those games, but those were fun. Well, not the Final Fantasy, but. And then number 1, obviously, Fortnite, 869 hours.
Wow.
And that's time with the boys. Lots of fun.
Yeah, I don't have Fortnite on my Switch numbers anymore because I jumped over to playing on Xbox this year. So does Xbox even do a year review? I mean,
I don't
do they
play
even
it
care?
enough to get one, so
straight in front of your face.
I wasn't looking. Yeah, I'd be curious to see the numbers. I'm sure they do, but I can't even remember the last time I got an email from Xbox. I feel like I never get anything. I feel like they've just given up. They're like, whatever. If you got it, you got it. Nobody cares about us anymore. So
exactly. So my gaming style is shooter, 73%, but that's obviously because of Fortnite. Literally every single day is dominated by Fortnite. I'm not even going to go into the monthly breakdown. There's a playlist of games that they want to sell me based on what I've been playing.
Hi, Coloss and Solid Master Link.
Altogether, 1,189 hours played.
Mm-hmm.
So quite a few more than, I'd say, 500 more hours than on the Switch.
Hello, Malik Halo. How are you?
Breaks down the trophies, but I don't really care about that. And yeah, I don't know. It's a little more underwhelming of a list than Nintendo's. I liked Nintendo's presentation better, but it's always nice to see that and kind of like review, think about what the heck you did this year and what you.
Where does the time go?
Yeah, exactly. So thank you very much for listening, bearing with me through all that.
We got some people in Discord sharing their stuff. Radical Defect played 62 games for 618 hours. Their top 3 games, starting with number 3, is Ace Attorney Investigations Collection with 42 hours, Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door with 43 hours, and number 1, Mario and Luigi Brothership with 60 hours. I'm like 20 plus hours in that game, so clearly I got a lot more to go. Drake has 28 hours in Echoes of Wisdom. Wow, 59 hours in Endless Ocean Luminous. That's awesome. And number 1, Drake's number 1 game of 2024 on the Switch, Vampire Survivors, with a whopping 118 hours in that game. That's very understandable with that one. Yes, I see it coming up in the chat. People wanting, hello, Sneaker Hacks, if I didn't say that. Can you see the summary if you don't get the emails? Yes, Sneaker Hacks. Go to Nintendo.com. It should be right at the top. It'll be the first banner that you see. And then you should get your information. There are people who have been asking to hear from you about something in particular. It won't be until later, though, but you will have a lot to say on the matter. People have been very interested in...
Is it our review on the new movie on Netflix called Carry On?
No.
Okay.
People want to know what Dude thinks of that movie. No, it is not. But people were hoping there was going to be something for you to talk about, and you will be able to talk about it quite a bit. So it's in relation to
spiders and flies.
No, on Patreon. Nicky Hill, or no, I'm sorry. You're sitting over here, and it threw me for a loop. Dude, did you know that you could join the GoNintendo Patreon?
For $1.
For $1. It's true. And if you do that, you can read and interact with me and all my Patreon stuff. What did we talk about this week? You mother fudger. I'd love to tell you. Obviously,
What's wrong with you?
it's a shorter week because it's Friday and we're doing the show, but we still had a few days in there. Here's what we talked about. Talked about common side effects, which is a trailer I sent to you, Do, and another friend. It's a new cartoon coming up on Adult Swim by the people who did Scavenger's Reign, as well as Mike Judge, who's an executive producer and a voice in the show. It looks awesome. I think this show looks really cool. It's about if this guy's found a way to use mushrooms to make basically a cure-all for all kinds of diseases, and he's talking to a higher up at a medical company about making it a reality. And it's a very timely show. Obviously, animations take a long time to make, but this is very timely because it's about healthcare and how healthcare doesn't really help people and how we got to pay out the ass for it and all that stuff. And, there's been a little bit of that in the news recently because of someone in particular who shares a name with a Nintendo character. And that's all that we'll say about that. But they put out the trailer and I think it looks really cool. Check that out. It's called Common Side Effects. It launches, I don't remember, January, February.
Oh my God.
I also put out the call for you guys for more questions on Patreon because we finished up your last round of questions. You guys killed it last time. Every time on Patreon I ask for questions for the podcast, you managed to put together more than you did the time before. And as of right now, I think that's going to be the case, if it's not already the case, for the newest batch. So thank you very much. I needed your questions there and you sent them. This is going to be a fun one, I think. Either it's going to be a very quick conversation and I'm a weirdo, or you'll have things to say. I talked about gaming quirks, and I don't mean things that you do in games, like, you have an option of going two different ways and you go one way because you think it's going to be the way that's not going to lead you to a boss or whatever. None of that. It's about things that you do in real life outside of a game. And I've known that I do it for a long time, and it could, who knows? It could be OCD, it could be any number of things. I got no idea. I don't have a clinical explanation for it, but I can just tell you what I do. And it crops up with different kinds of games. So in Mario and Luigi Brothership, when I'm playing, obviously it's an RPG, and you hear the same battle song a lot. And when you go into the battles, there's a little transition, like the screen changes to its transition, and it loads up the battle. And you hear the song, and the song starts the same way every time, and it goes bum 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 bada bum bam, like that. And every time that happens, I have a certain way that I shake my head to part of the song, and then I look up when the note at the end hits, and I do it every single time, and I cannot help myself. And it's just something I notice that I do. And like I said, I do that kind of things, kind of stuff with a lot of different games, just with music, or whenever a certain loading thing happens, there's little I'll call them ticks. They're not ticks because I'm in control, but there's little things that I do. And I put the question out to you guys to see if you have some of those. And indeed, some of you do. You do roughly the same thing. So I felt not so alone, and that was great. Nicky, do either of you have any of those things? Little movement, a little ritual, a little something you say to yourself, a little whatever with any games you play when anything in particular happens?
I've been with this new game I've been playing. Whenever there's a multiplayer, I'll be like, but
That's
I don't
exactly it. Do was snapping and pointing his finger as the multipliers.
Yeah,
but that's exactly it.
I don't do it every time, but it's
Yeah,
I
that
do
counts.
it. I do it a lot because it's the noises are pleasing, and
Yep.
the scoring is pleasing, and you're just like, yeah.
Yep. That's
So,
it. That's exactly what I'm looking
that
for. That's
kind
great.
of thing. But again, it's not involuntary, and I could probably I can not do it.
You're
Um,
doing it. It's not, like I said, it's not a tick. It's not something you're out of control. But you're just doing it. You go through a little ritual for whatever reason. Something scratches something in your brain where you're like, "Yep, this is what I'm doing."
I'm sure I might not have had a head movement like yours, but I'm sure I've had similar things with game music,
Yeah.
where even if it's just in my own head, thinking about the song as
Yep.
it's playing the part because it's so pleasing to, and you
Yeah.
know it so well, and or whatever the situation.
Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear you have one.
Yeah, you're not mental.
Or we're both mental.
More likely.
There was something I was gonna say about that. It's gone. Nicky, do you have anything?
No,
Okay.
not that I can think of.
There were people on the Patreon who were saying there were a decent amount of people who say like they'll have times where they take the controller and like put it behind their head and like just it's not depending on like if there's a tough fight that they lost or there's something in particular going on in the game, they'll like lean back and put the controller behind their head. And I'm like, I do that as well. I like there's certain usually it'll happen like after I lose like a big boss fight or something or like a particularly challenging fight. I'll like lean back and put the controller behind my head and just be like, and then like throw myself forward and go into it again. So it was a fun discussion there. I liked seeing all the little, I don't even want to say strange, but all the random things that we end up doing while we're playing games that have nothing to do with the game themselves. So we talked about that. Talked Switch stats with everybody, obviously. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, because it's the I'm only on Friday instead of Saturday. There's only one more, and we can actually talk about this one in detail if you want to. I wrote about the Simpsons Christmas special. Oh, come on, all ye faithful, which I watched and I know Do now watched.
Yeah, I watched it last night after you recommended it because I started it, made it about 6 minutes in, and I was like, I'm not laughing at this, so I turned it off. Didn't really give it a fair shake. RMC told me he liked it. He watched it and liked it, and he explained to me that Darren Brown is a real person.
The Mentalist.
Yes, there you go. I knew you knew who he was. Yeah,
he has like some of his stuff is the most incredible stuff ever.
He is
You'll
the
like the
catalyst
episode,
for
then.
this episode, this Christmas special of The Simpsons.
I have to admit, after watching the whole thing, I thought he was good in it, particularly because a lot of times you get celebrities and they're just like I'm in a room with a microphone. I am, Matt Damon
the
or something.
exact same thing. I was like,
and
he's very good at doing
he was
this.
kind of like rolling, like they had the right jokes for him, or he knew, because a lot of times you'll almost be like, does the celebrity know that this is a joke that they're saying? The way they read it is so flat, whereas he like had a lot of like yoink kind of jokes, and like he was delivering them well.
His timing was good. His cadence was good. Yeah. Like, when he's doing a shtick, his Darren Brown shtick, that he does that perfectly because that's what he does in all of his specials and whatever. But when he was like having dialogue and talking with characters, I was like, I'm really impressed. He did a good job with that.
Yeah. So I still didn't, I wasn't dying laughing ever. I laughed a little bit at Rod and Todd, and I laughed a little bit at Ralph. They had a couple of really great bits. And once it wrapped up, like once the episode was over, it did have like a nice little sentiment. It didn't hit the levels that the Simpsons have hit in the past as far as sentimentality, but I thought they did a pretty decent job, and wasn't upset that I watched it. Thank you for helping me give it another chance.
I'm glad you went back in and gave it another chance. Yeah, I've seen a lot, like I told you before, I've seen a lot of praise for this episode where people are saying, it's an enjoyable Christmas special. It has moments, like it shows that there's still some life left in the series. And I was like, yeah, I get that stuff. But then there's outlets that are like, this is as good as The Simpsons has ever been, and this is worthy of like, whatever. Like, and I'm like, all right, this isn't as good as The Simpsons used to be, but it doesn't have to be to still be enjoyable. Let's not like use hyperbole and say like, there's seasons 2 through 8 and they were amazing and this could have fit right in there. No, it would have stuck out like a sore thumb. But as far as sentimentality goes and storyline, yes, that is a storyline I feel could fit in back then. It would have been told in a much funnier way and in a different style, but just the beats that were in there, sure, I could see. But overall, yeah, I can't think of anything else Simpsons in the last 10 plus years that I liked as much as I liked this. And that's not saying I think this is amazing, but I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. And the sentimental moments with Ned when he's talking about his 2 past wives, I thought were really well done and were sad.
2?
Spoiler alert: what's her face is dead as well.
I didn't know he got. Did he get?
Edna Krabappel.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, that happened. I guess, didn't it?
Did, yeah, while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when he's talking about those two and the things that they show that he did and how he was coping, I was like, man, that's realistic and sad and kind of heartwarming. And they had a couple jokes in there that I felt like lightened the mood a little bit. But you know what I thought was very funny when Darren Brown is at like the town hall, and I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, you got your old Homer back, and like nobody says anything at the town hall, and then like something else is said, and then Mo makes a noise where Mo's just like or something like that, and I was like, that's pretty funny. But the Ralph the Ralph thing was funny with the hat, the fast food hat.
Yeah, he was
comment
wearing
that
the
he made,
fries
so-
as a hat, and he was just like, my hat smells are making me hungry.
Yes, and the joke about Bart getting the doll, you know, the resuscitation doll, whatever it was, whatever that. And I thought that joke was funny, but yeah, well, you know, it's not going to measure up to old Simpsons as far as laughs per minute goes, but and not even to that degree of laughter either. But there were moments that I smiled at and a couple that I laughed at, and just overall, I thought it was a good Christmas special. I thought it was enjoyable. It had a nice story. It was nice to see some of the characters in the lights that they showed them. Yeah, I enjoyed it. The only bad part is they're not going to show that on TV. That's only Disney Plus. I found out. So I don't know why you wouldn't show that on. Put that on
So
this
that people sign
weekend.
up for Disney Plus. That's
Well, I
why
don't know.
Everybody's got their own like.
Yeah, but I don't know
proprietary
like
stuff.
how they're promoting it. Because they're all I've heard about. The way I found out about it is reviews of it because it came out. Like I haven't seen like Disney being go to Disney
Yeah.
Plus and watch the Simpsons special or
Well,
anything.
I even
like that.
had trouble. I was telling you, I was having trouble searching the Disney Plus app for it because I didn't know it was called "Come On You Faithful." I just thought it was like a Simpsons Christmas thing. I thought it was an episode in the season, so I went and searched the season. It wasn't there, obviously, and then I was like looked into the extras, and I was like, and there's like 20 things that I didn't know existed in the extras, so I had, and then I was like, this looks like it's Christmas-like. So,
Hi, William. Hi,
And it was the
Tendivision.
first episode ever, and you were like, okay, I'll watch this.
How
That was a Christmas special, right?
You're right.
They started off with a Christmas special.
They did. You're right.
mhm.
How about those voices?
Yeah, you were right. You called out Marge and Ned
That poor woman.
were particularly kind of tough, and I have to say, Dan Castellaneta as Homer is still great. Like he almost sounds.
He sounds
exactly
so
how he
very.
did.
There's no moment where I'm like Homer doesn't sound like Homer.
Yeah.
He sounded right, but yeah, like Marge sounded horrendous. She can't do the voice anymore. But to be honest, I think Ned might have been worse because with Marge,
I
you can
think he
you
wa-
like
yeah.
if it's talking, it's Marge. With Ned, there were instances where in my mind I was like, if I just heard this voice, I would not ever guess that I'm listening to Ned.
Yeah,
So-
I agree with you. It was kind of. I was kind of shocked. I didn't know that was one of
Yes.
the voices that had changed.
Bart and Lisa were fine. I thought they sounded.
Yeah, they were
They
fine.
sounded exactly how
They-
I remember. Hello, Outlaws. Good to see you. Outlaw says Harry has lost all his voices. Burns is really bad too. Yes, Burns is particularly bad. He wasn't in. Was he in this?
I don't think
Not
so.
that I remember, but I've heard Burns in recent episodes, and it is very bad.
Smithers
yeah,
was, but Burns wasn't.
Smithers did not sound right. He didn't sound as bad as the other ones, but Smithers did not sound right. And we're not knocking it. I'm not saying like this show's bad. They don't sound right. People age. These people have been doing these voices for 20 plus years. Like it's fine. I get it. It's just Deux and I and Nicky Hill as well. There were years where we watched The Simpsons religiously, and those voices are burned into our memories. So then, when you're not watching episodes regularly and you don't hear the gradual decline, and you go back now, you're like, oh, they don't sound anything like they used to. So, Grandma says Hank Azaria always kills it. I mean, some of the people still got it, and some of them don't.
I mean, he's getting old too, I guess. But
They're
I feel like
all old.
he's not like, I don't know how old everybody is.
I mean, they're older, but yeah, let's if somebody started in their 20s, they're gonna be
also,
what,
like,
50 now.
We're all concerned about our appearance, like our whatever. When you get dental work and stuff, if you're a voice actor and you're like part of like a legacy, maybe you shouldn't be getting like veneers or any of that stuff,
You're
right?
100% right, and it seems to be the kiss of death for so many.
Like, your teeth aren't your money makers at this point. It's the whole package, and you gotta preserve that.
You're right. I completely agree. And so many voice actors seem to go down that rabbit hole. Like Rob Paulson. He did something with his mouth, and he can still do all the damn voices, but you hear his teeth through them. When he's doing Yakko, you hear Yakko with teeth, and when you hear Pinky, you hear Pinky with teeth. And I'm like, why would you do that? How do you not know? Like, although we shouldn't say that, because we're basically saying, don't take care of your health,
Right.
do
Yeah,
the
have-
voice. So
Yeah.
I mean, I
Lose
was
all
kind of
your
saying it
teeth.
facetiously, but like also whatever. But yeah, there's going to be problems where it's like, oh, we're going to have to rip out all your teeth. Well, then
Yeah.
now you're going to sound different.
yes.
Yeah, you can, and with all your money, you can buy astronaut food like in tubes, and you won't need teeth, and then you can keep doing the voice forever.
Ice Silver says Mayor Quimby was off. Yeah, Mayor Quimby was definitely off as well. I noticed that too. But like I said, I enjoyed it enough that I was like, I'll dip into the recent season just to give it a shot. I did it last year, and I watched 3 episodes, and one of them was pretty decent, and the other 2 were pretty rough. But I Simpsons, as I wrote in my Patreon post, are forever part of our DNA, like our humor and our timing and our references and all that stuff. It's going to forever be a part of our lives. It's shaped part of our lives. So
It's funny how I've been watching it. I've been not watching it so much longer than we were
Yeah.
watching it, but what we watched is like so a part
Yeah.
of us that at this point I don't care that it's been on so long and it's kind of, for me, been mediocre. It's kind of
Yeah.
like I still, I don't know, I can't think of anything else that's like that. Like even now that they're making like a million Star Wars movies, and there's talk of like a million more Lord of the Rings things that don't need to be made, and you're just like you don't want this to diminish anything for yourself, but for some reason the Simpsons, they're still there in my brain and in my heart.
And you can go back and watch them, and they're just as good.
oh
like,
yeah,
I'm
you appreciate them in
it's
different
probably,
ways now too.
I think I've said it before. I don't know if I've said it on the podcast. I've gone back and I've watched, like recently I watched Batman Returns. That is very cheesy. It's very kind of like corny and campy. Maybe it's on purpose, but like I feel like Tim Burton was also like trying to do something with it. And then you go back and you watch that stuff and you're like, oh,
You got to think, well, yeah,
that's what we did here, huh? And like if those things were
yeah.
made now, they would not go well.
Yeah, I think they just like let him have carte blanche with a lot of that, right? Because it's so strange. A lot of it's so strange.
But it really is. It's like a lot of the things that we love, when you go back, you're like, ooh, that didn't really age that great. Or it's like when you go back to playing a video game, you've made the point of like some of the remakes and stuff like that. Or no, not necessarily games, but even X-Men 97. It's new. The animation is better than what it was, but it still has that feel of how it felt when we watched it when we were younger. Like it captures the feeling of what it is in your memory. And then when you go back and you watch it, you're like, oh,
Right. Yeah.
so like that. So like those things kind of work or whatever. So then you talk about watching The Simpsons and you go back and you watch it and you're like, this is exactly how I remember it, and it's still good.
Yeah,
That's true.
And they're having a hard time maintaining that. So it's not just like, I don't know, because I asked that a lot with different things. It's like even with that movie Carry On, it's like if this was made back in like the 90s, would it be accepted differently? Like what makes some like thriller action movies work and some just don't at all? And I don't know where that balance is. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but
The whole thing. Yeah, it's all changed.
Yeah,
Just expectations and perceptions and everything else, but like I don't know how things do work sometimes and how things don't work sometimes. Me, I gotta go home.
There's no, it's very hard to quantify because some of it has to do with your own age, some of it has to do with the age of the thing, some of it has to do with changing tastes, some of it has to do with things being painted by other things that are out now, so it's hard to look back on them and see them for what they were. But with the Simpsons, unless it's like something we look at now where you're like, oh, that's like off color or that's racist or homophobic or whatever. Outside of that stuff, a funny joke is a funny joke, so it's always going to have that funny element to it, and that's why the show's still on, I think, because yes, there's people watching it now, obviously, but those who were growing up with it and watched those amazing seasons, they were so good and are so much a part of all those people's lives that we will forever have a soft spot for The Simpsons and we'll be willing to give it a shot from time to time. So,
like the originals, there's something that's very timeless. And now I feel like everything has like a time stamp on it. It's like made specifically for a very specific generation. The jokes are directed, not just funny for the sake of being funny or whatever. Like, or not, it's not just like pure comedic. It's like very pointed in a very specific direction or something. And I don't know.
Well, plus, The Simpsons is going to be full of jokes that people won't understand now because they were, lampooning things that were then at the time. So there, it's just the amount of humor that was in The Simpsons and the amount of stuff that they did and tried and attempted and in different ways. It's so much that you should be able to find something to reliably laugh at in that handful of seasons there. But yeah, I'm sure much of it is lost of time. I mean, there's references that we didn't even understand then, but we just think are funny now because we learned about them through The Simpsons. My sister said numerous times there's things she knows now in life because she learned through The Simpsons, like certain, not just like
bacon,
pop culture
and
stuff,
pork, and ham. They all come from the same magic
that's
animal.
So yeah, here you go. If you're looking for a Christmas special, or you're in the Christmas spirit, you want to watch something new, and you're tired of Frosty and all that stuff, try the Simpsons one. I think it was a breath of fresh air for the series.
You also have Hot Frosty out there if you want to get a little frisky.
My cousin was telling me she watched Hot Frosty and the other one we watched, The Merry Gentleman. And how much she enjoyed both, but she preferred Hot Frosty. So
really, I prefer the Merry Gentleman.
I told her I prefer the Merry Gentleman because the idea was so stupid, and she said she preferred Hot Frosty because he is so stupid. And she's like, I love the idea of not knowing the rules of what this man knows in Hot Frosty. She's like, how does this make sense? What's going on here?
We talked about that when we watched it.
Yeah, and that's she enjoyed both. She was like, both were a lot of fun to watch, but Hot Frosty for her, just because she can't figure out what he knows, what he doesn't know, and how he knows the things, which she really likes. So there you go.
I watched Nutcrackers with Ben Stiller, but I kind of I had it on while I was doing a holiday Lego set.
What one?
The Santa's workshop thing that has the hot air balloon and stuff.
Yep.
I'm loving that they're putting these lighted bricks in there so that like you push the button. Got one where you push the thing and like the fireplace lights up. It's so good.
Mamma mia.
So on this one, the hot air balloon, the fire kind of lights up. But yeah, I mean, it was very much what you'd expect from the movie. But then the interesting thing is spoiler alert, maybe, but like it kind of goes the direction of Merry Gentleman in a way. And I was like, well, wasn't expecting
with the name Nutcracker,
2 movies to be to have that theme, especially one with children.
So you ended up doing that instead of the Holdovers?
I watched the Holdovers last night.
Oh, nice.
And
you want to take a guess?
You liked it.
Fell asleep.
At
the very end, though, I watched half of it. Then I took like a 40-minute walk with my dog. Then I came home and I was watching it. And then I opened my eyes and the credits were going. I was like,
you fell asleep just as they gave him a promotion, and he was going to be happy for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
It was a great movie. All right. That's that. Let's go into news. Dude, could you jingle it up, please? Oh, it was a holiday one. I didn't even mean it. Finally.
What is it? Oh my gosh! What? Giddy up, Jingle Horse.
Giddy up, Jingle Horse.
Giddy up,
Pick up
Jingle
those
Horse.
feet.
Yeah.
We have more. Again, I'll lump all of this into one post. More Switch 2 rumors that are not really rumors. They oh, wait a minute. Did we do this one
That's what we
live on the
did.
show last week? We did.
Yeah.
By the way, thank you.
Show's over.
Thank
That
you
was
for
it.
the support on that post. Holy moly, man. The traffic has been so high on the site that the site's been chugging. So I know, that's a good, bad problem to have, but thank you for the support on that. But I'll lump together all the Switch 2 news, rumored news into one post. We got more leaks of what the device looks like, including accessories from a third-party manufacturer, but they give us a look at the Switch 2 in the accessories. So we got our best look yet at what the Switch 2 looks like. It's more rounded, which we've heard before. By and large, it looks like a Switch, but it's bigger, it's rounded, it's got a long U-shaped kickstand on the back. And it's got the brand new C button, or C button if you're a longtime GoNintendo reader, that we aren't quite sure what it does yet, but word on the street is that it will do some sort of Wii U-esque thing. This is just chatter. We don't know. This isn't part of the rumor, as in the sources who are bringing the rumors. This is just chatter about what the C button does. But the rumors, the scuttlebutt, is that it will do some sort of Wii U-esque thing where you'll be able to split the screen between the TV and the Switch 2 itself. So we'll find out, because it's not a camera button, because that's still on the other Joy-Con, or the capture button as Nintendo calls it. So this is something different.
But that would mean like wireless connectivity to the dock, right?
I don't. Yes, it would have to. Yeah, there'd have to be something there.
Right? Yeah.
So, but again, we'll find out. That's just speculation on nothing. That's no insider saying this is what it does. But yeah, as far as pictures go, we're looking at it here. Is
this confirmed? There's a new Mario Galaxy then?
That's it right there. Yeah, and please ignore the first picture where the accessory manufacturer just put the regular Switch screen on it. But yeah, if you want your best look yet at this Switch 2 physically, you can check it out in that post. And again, not confirmed because Nintendo hasn't said so, but you're looking at the Switch 2. This stuff has been leaking like a faucet this past week and a half, or this past 2 weeks. We're going to have more to talk about with that. First, I'll read the comment. Autumnal Blake says, it's the C button. Now, there's the long-time Nintendo fan. It looks like it has 2 audio jacks at the top or something. It does. We have heard rumors of something going on at the top of that Joy-Con, so I don't know. We'll find out together, my friends, but it's exciting times. Moving on with more Switch 2 rumors. So last week, as Nicky Hill said, we covered one of those stories about the Switch 2 live on the podcast. This week, The Verge got in touch.
What are those buttons?
Volume up and down and power.
You think?
That's my guess.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra buttons plus another port up there.
We've heard rumors of another
Oh,
USB-C up top, which people have wanted because that would make it better for charging if you weren't dropping it into the dock. That's a great idea. I'm all about that.
Yeah, but I mean, imagine how long the USB-C cable has to be for me. Across my room.
I got a really long one downstairs and a USB-C cable. Yeah, I have an extra long one that I use to plug in my controller when I'm playing. So last week we had the Redditor who claimed to have inside information, and they sent that information, a verification of that information, to the Reddit moderator. And the moderator was like, son of a bitch, this looks like the real deal. Now, The Verge has been in touch with that Redditor, and they got more information and looks at 3D scans of the system that would go through like the FCC and stuff like that. And The Verge is saying this is legit, and they gave out more information. So again, not confirmed, but as close to confirmed as you're going to get before Nintendo actually says something. So I would say this news is legit, but officially it's a rumor. The Switch 2 dock features the same logo as the Switch, but with the number 2 alongside it. So it seems they will just be calling it Switch 2, which we talked about last week. No new ports on the dock. The Joy-Con rail section contains no rail and instead is a long, rounded, hollow area with a 13-pin connector that sticks out so you can slide it into the Joy-Con. And there's a physical magnetic click when you attach the Joy-Con. So then you'll hit the bigger button on the top to pop them off. Once again, this claims that the Joy-Con will use magnetic Hall effect thumbsticks. So, boy, if any part of this rumor is true, I really hope that's it. That would be great. Again, the U-shaped kickstand. The dock has big feet around the back of it, and the feet are positioned so it can lie down horizontally without blocking a set of vents. That does not mean Nintendo will want you to lay it down, but it means they know some people will do it anyway. And perhaps in the, with the Switch dock now, people have accidentally knocked it over, and I'm sure Nintendo knows about that and has gotten enough complaints or whatever that they would do something to stabilize the dock more. So basically, if this is true, it's like Nintendo saying, we know you're going to like lay this thing down, so we'll make sure the vents aren't blocked, but also please don't lay this thing down.
You know what they say about docks with big feet? I mean, you know what they say. I don't need to repeat it.
We don't need to say it, obviously. And we're not going to insult our listeners because they know as well. The dock is rated for 60 watts.
We all know.
And the Switch 2 itself is rated for 45 watts. So that would be a big difference compared to the regular Switch, because the regular Switch comes with a 39-watt charger. But docked and handheld is only rated for 18 watts. So we're more than doubling the power of the system, which obviously that would, or, wattage power of the system, which means more taxing on the hardware, which means better visuals. So it just shows how much of a boost this system will be from a visual graphical standpoint. It will reportedly launch in dark gray, followed by a white model. And then once again, the rumor of a model themed after a Switch 2 game. What game? Who knows? A Mario game, a Mario Kart game. We have no idea, but it'll be a first-party title.
3/4 Switch. Instead of 1/2 Switch.
That'd be amazing.
Right now,
they went
like to 5
3/4 Switch on the Switch 2. What? I don't understand this. That would be amazing. Nintendo didn't make a Switch successor. They made one worse than the last one. It's 3/4 of the first Switch. And again, a second USB-C port on the top of the Switch 2. There's your juicy rumors on that. MeReal says, Joy-Con improvements sound great. No more rails to get bent over time and loose. I'm not sure about the new kickstand, though. What's wrong with the one on the Switch OLED? I love that kickstand. Also, I miss the days when handheld Nintendo consoles didn't need fans to stay cool. I also love the Switch OLED kickstand.
Well, I mean, what we're looking at, though,
that's a nice one.
It's the same size and stability, but just less plastic material.
Yeah. I think that's all it is, really. I think you'll get the same stability out of it. But that's that batch of rumors. Let's see. Do we have any more Switch successor rumors? No, that's it. That's it for Switch successor rumors this week. But juicy stuff. And like I said, very believable. We're going to hear about the Switch successor officially in January. I'd stake my life on it at this point. This is insanity that we've had this many leaks that are so legitimate looking before Nintendo has even shown off what the thing looks like. So
I heard Ryan Seacrest is going to have it at the Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve.
Holy cow!
Yeah, he's going to pull it out at 12:01.
I was wondering about,
and then he's going to show us the Switch too.
Oh, if Nintendo was going to go the same route that they went with the Switch, where they'll have it like on a late night talk show, and then they'll do like the big rollout after that.
You know who'd be great for that? Jimmy Fallon.
Well, Nintendo loves their Jimmy Fallon.
By the way, you mentioned that game. It was like Dark Zero or Dark Void Zero was that old, like you mentioned it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, like last year. That was that game because he was the one that was in it supposedly as a kid or something.
Oh yes,
or in the commercial or something.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're going to do a late night talk show and showcase it, you're not going to do Colbert because it's not really his shtick, and you're not going to do Kimmel because, again, not really his thing. Fallon is
what about
the
that
guy.
other guy? Your favorite one, James Koch?
He's gone. I think he's dead.
No, he just did a
funeral.
No,
where he was the star.
He just released a special carpool karaoke.
He's not in it.
I saw a promo with him in it.
He's not. I have seen so many clips from this new carpool karaoke, and all the comments are like, my favorite part about this is that he is nowhere to be found in it. So he is responsible for the Carpool Karaoke brand,
Oh.
and I'm sure he did a commercial for it, but he is not in it. You
Huh.
cannot see him at all.
This is going to be his resurgence. He's just been waiting for the Switch 2 release.
UK can have him back. We don't need him. He ruined TV enough here. It's time for him to go home and ruin their TV a little bit. Now I completely forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, you know, you're not going to do late night, so you're not going to do Seth Meyers. He's on too late. Although I like Seth Meyers, but yeah, you're not doing that. You need your staple late night talk show hosts, and those are the three you got. You got Colbert, you got Fallon, and you got Kimmel. So you go with Fallon if they're going to do that again. I don't know, because Reggie went there last time. We're going to send Doug Bowser there this time.
Boring.
That's right, Josh. That's right. I didn't want to say it, but you said it for me. What else happened this week? That's enough talk about the Switch successor. Let's talk about the current Switch, because it set a new record here in the United States. The Switch is now officially the second best-selling game hardware of all time. So the PS2 has been usurped as the second best selling gaming system in the United States.
Until next week when they magically
right.
find more numbers.
Oh, we didn't update the US numbers. We're so sorry about that. So the Switch has sold 46.6 million units in the United States alone, which is good enough for a second place finish. Does anybody know the number one system? The number one gaming hardware, I should say, in the United States.
The DS?
The DS is the correct answer. We just know it's over 50 million. I don't know what the exact number is, but over 50 million for the DS. Is the Switch going to hit that? I don't think so. Another 4 million in the United States alone? I really don't think so. I think the DS is going to hold on to that crown. But so Nintendo is the number one and the number two best-selling game systems in the United States. Joe Shabadoo says, I've purchased 2 Nintendo Switches for myself and 1 for someone else. I made this. That's right. I've purchased a couple for myself. I've certainly pointed people to purchasing other ones as well. So been quite a little success for Nintendo. Josh, I know you got your update coming, so I'm not going to torture you here. I'll just we have the not NPD numbers, the Circana numbers, and Nicky Hill.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
So it's okay, Josh. Nicky Hill and Deux, please do not look, because you are the ones who play. November 2024, all of gaming, top 20 best-selling games. Remember, Nintendo titles included do not include digital numbers. But 2024 November, all systems, United States only. Nicky Hill.
Mario Party Jamboree.
Mario Party Jamboree is number 6. Yes. Deux is looking for yes.
E-Ring and Rain.
Is it out already now?
Oh, it's not out?
No, I don't.
Wait, I
It
thought
just
it-
got announced.
I thought it was nominated for the...
E-Ring
No, it
Elden
a
R was
trailer that was
nominated.
showing
Oh.
off. It was a promo.
They announced a brand new Elden Ring. Elden Ring's DLC was nominated for Game of the Year.
Well, do I dare do... I don't know. Would the DLC push those numbers? Probably not. FIFA.
FIFA, which is FC now. EA Sports FC 25. Yes, number 3.
Whew.
Madden.
Madden. Yes, number 2.
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
See you tomorrow, Indiana Jones.
No Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's a bummer.
So then you win. Congratulations.
It's because everyone's playing it on Game Pass.
It came out
when
in
did
November?
It come out? Yeah, did it come out November?
Okay. Yeah, I'm jumping the gun.
So give it another guess.
That's not how this works,
It's
unless
not.
you want it to work that way.
Minecraft.
Yes, Minecraft is number 18.
Unbelievable. I was trying to...
Nicky's zoning out or zoning in.
honing in.
I don't know. Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, of course, number 1.
Oh,
Of course. Brilliant.
Do?
Let's do Mario Kart.
Mario Kart. No. Okay, now the party's really over.
Party's over.
All right.
Rainbow Six Siege.
What'd you say? Rainbow Six Siege?
Yeah. I feel like that spikes up
No.
onto the list every once in a while.
Not here. Here's your 20, starting with number 20. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. The My Sims Cozy Bundle. Minecraft, Metaphor Refantasio, Undisputed, Silent Hill 2, Spider-Man 2, Astrobot, Dragon Quest makes its debut at number 12, Hogwarts Legacy, Dragon Age The Veilguard, NBA 2K25, Sonic X Shadow Generations, Mario and Luigi Brothership, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, EA Sports College Football 25, and then EA Sports FC, Madden, and Call of Duty. There you go. PS5 is number 1 in terms of hardware sold and dollar sales. Switch was number 2 in terms of hardware sold and dollar sales, only down 3% year on year, which is the only system to have a single-digit drop in its numbers. But, you know, it's 7 years old. And Xbox was number 3 in terms of hardware and dollar sales in November. Jesus Christ, man. That's Microsoft has to get that figure and be like, what have we done? How the mighty have fallen. Your top 10 on Switch: Super Mario Odyssey, Just Dance 2025, Dragon Quest 3, Hogwarts Legacy, Echoes of Wisdom, Tears of the Kingdom, Sonic X Shadow Generations, the My Sims Cozy Bundle, Mario and Luigi Brothership, and Super Mario Party Jamboree. It's worth pointing out the top 10 mobile games this month because Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket made its debut at number 6, and it was the number 2 game by revenue worldwide for the entire month. So a massive start for that game. Get ready for that one to stick around in the top 10 for a long time to come. Sticer says, what's that? Do you hear something? Some chanting in the distance? NPD.
Hey,
Oh,
be quiet. I think I hear something.
nostalgia, Josh. Go for it.
NPD,
Mhm,
NPD, NPD,
NPD.
NPD. Is that what I sound like?
It is, Josh, but not
Hell
for
yeah.
long. Not for long.
Don't be a sweaty, be a go-getter.
That's right. Moving on. Nintendo stock hit an all-time high. They've done it once again. Nintendo stock hit an all-time high during the Wii and DS era. Then it hit an all-time high during the Switch era. And we are still in the Switch era, but we're, riding off into the sunset. But still good enough for Nintendo to hit another all-time high. That's due to 2 reasons. First off, there's a recent proposal in Japan to adjust Japanese tax rates that could increase spending power for a specific age range that buys a lot of games. And that goes along with hype for the Switch 2 to boost Nintendo to their highest stock figure ever at $62.21. A brand new record in company history. Along with that, analysts were talking about their predictions for the Switch 2, and they think things are going to go really well. DFC Intelligence says Switch 2 is projected to sell between 15 to 17 million units in 2025 alone. Switch 2 is likely to reach 80 million sold by 2028. They say Sony and Microsoft are predicted to release new systems by 2028, but only one will be successful. I bet I know what one. And they say the company that fails to gain momentum will, quote, struggle mightily, end quote, against the Switch 2. So basically, they're saying, without saying it, that Microsoft is in real trouble, and the next console generation is going to be Nintendo and somebody else, and it's probably not going to be Microsoft. So they're predicting great things for the Switch, and we shall see or for the Switch 2, when I hope they're right. But, we've been in these situations before where Nintendo has a hit system and they followed up with a real stinker. Could Switch to Switch 2 be the hit to the stinker? I don't know. It's going to be the real test of it because the Switch is really popular. It's going to be a straightforward sequel. It all depends on software, as it always does, but I'm not worried that Nintendo won't have exciting software for the system. There's no doubt they're going to have amazing third-party support after what we've seen with the Switch, because I guarantee those companies are going to be like, yes, Switch 2, let's go, baby. So the stars seem to be aligned.
There's just Switch is just so great, and there's so much great stuff on there, and it's sold so well. It's tough to see Switch 2 hitting those numbers or like a rocket ship like Nintendo Switch did.
I don't think it will hit the same.
Right.
I mean, they also have the pandemic and stuff.
Yeah,
And
I think it will do extremely well, but I don't think it's going to reach the same heights as the
And
Switch.
I don't think people are going to buy their kids 3 or 4 of them like they did with the original Switch. I feel like it's going to be like, oh, we've got this Switch, and we've got the handheld Switch, and then we've got the other.
Yeah, but you got to
like-
think of like the
like
new
we've got all the
generation now. Those people are 7 years older, so it's going to be a whole new group of people who have had kids, and their Switch 2 will be the Switch for them. So like they're going to go through the same. The market replenishes itself. Those people age out, and new ones come in, and they do it all over again. We'll see. I don't know.
I'm never aging out. Never.
That's right. Joe Shabadoo says, glances over at his shares and smiles. We're in for a long haul as more films get produced and more theme park editions are built. I agree that the future is bright and exciting. The company is going to buck their trend of slumps following their greatest successes, given what seems to be mostly an iterative step up from one of their most successful platforms. The stock already underwent a couple of downward adjustments since it hit the peak, but that's just speculators and day traders up to their normal shenanigans. Looking forward to finally seeing the new hardware in January, and I definitely think there's some neat technical additions that these leakers don't know about yet. Well,
I will say since this report, it's gone down a bit, but that's how it works. This whole
stock's gone down a bit. Well, yeah, it's if Nintendo is going the route we think they're going with a Switch 2, and it's largely the same form factor, better graphics, and a few extra bells and whistles, and the name is Switch 2, then they put all their ducks in a row. Again, we haven't seen software and software sales systems, but I'm not worried that Nintendo won't have good software at launch. Like there's going to be one big something, I'm sure. Like I said, all their ducks are in a row. Like if there's ever going to be a time where Nintendo has a hit system that's followed by a hit system, this should be it. But
new duck hunt, you heard it here first.
It's like people aren't buying the Xbox, so
I think it's pretty it's just kind of funny that there's analysts and stuff that making comments of like,
making comments.
These two companies are going to put something out. One of them's not going to make it. The other one's going to they're going to struggle mightily against the Switch. Like, you don't know what any of these systems are. You're talking about something that is 3 to 4 years in the future. You're just making things up. You are just making things up, and people are throwing money around because of your made up words. Like,
yes, I 100% agree.
Like that same, basically what they could be doing is then turning around and being like, these companies are going to they're going to make something. So they're going to be like, oh, the Switch is going to do great. And then in their next interview, that's going to air to a different audience. They're going to be like, oh, the Switch is going to tank horribly, so that they can play like 50% here, 50% there. And then something's going to go well and they're still going to make money. It's just crazy.
Well, I do think their prediction of Xbox not doing well is probably true, but
you don't in their own words.
They didn't say that. That's true. I'm guessing that's what they're saying, but that's not really hard to predict because all you got to do is look at what's been going on with Microsoft or the Xbox brand for the last few years.
Can we also just look at? I don't know what other movies Sony's making other than like some of these superhero movies and like the Marvel stuff. I know they are, because their performance has been they've been struggling. But like even Uncharted, like the things that they're making, I feel like they're going with like big name things, and they're kind of just, it's not that they're phoning it in, they're just not hitting the mark. And I just saw their name tied to something else, and I don't remember.
Legend of Zelda.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you did it.
No, their name is tied to something else, more current, more that's going to come sooner than Legend of Zelda. And I kind of just like had a feeling, even with that, I was like, oh, it's, you know, I don't know how if they're going to pull it off, whatever. Like, it's just interesting. It's interesting how they seem to be putting out a lot more money than they're making consistently. But
Do I have Tubi?
I want to know what movie.
I don't remember now.
That's
That's why I have thousands of tabs open, because my brain doesn't hold on to anything.
Well, good looking. Well, I can give you an update on what's coming to the Switch this week because I've got the North American releases. Oh, thank you. Here's what's available in North America this week on the Switch. Quieter week, obviously, because we're getting into the holiday time. Airborne Grannies. Aero Flight Simulator 2025 edition. Anime Dance-Off. Bimflea and His Time Travels, Japan. Block Jam. Brothers in Hell. Wow. Cats Visiting Christmas Town. Cats Visiting Underwater World. Deer Hunter. Wow. That's a movie. Detail Hunter. Sorry about that.
That'd be a pretty dark video game.
Yep. The MSX version of Aquapolis SOS. Float Survival Simulator Ocean Survivor. Football Stars. Head Ball Soccer Co-op Battle. Golf Up. Item Frenzy. Jigsaw Puzzle Utopia. Jungle Adventurer. Time Maker. Leash Adventure Netherworld Hero. Monoquest 2. Pine, A Story of Loss. Pizza Maker. Quilts and Cats of Calico. Ramp Bike Racing. Restaurant Tycoon, My Cooking Empire. Save Christmas with Santa. Oh my god, we gotta get on it. Star Trek Legends. Super Spy Raccoon. Taxi Driver Simulation 2025. The Escape Room Chronicles Episode 3, The Southern Resort. Tombs of Mira. Universe for Sale. And finally, Winter Games Collection. Nico Daruni says RMC's bitter releases. Nicky, help us out. Nicky, as is recent tradition, you go to Europe and I go to bathroom.
I'm gonna take my
you go to Europe,
I'm gonna
but
take
I'm
my
European.
statement back about the Sony Pictures things. They have some things that I'm looking forward to, like Karate Kid Legends.
That trailer looked really good to me.
Raw Meat's walking away. He said that trailer looked really good to him. Also, a little movie called Paddington in Peru.
Oh, okay. I'm listening now.
So I was way off, I guess. Although, if it ever comes up again, I will know what movie I was thinking, because it came up and I was like, oh, I'm not interested in that. I don't know, is what I was saying.
What are the next European masterpieces?
Boy.
Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases.
It's the time of year that I get a little teary-eyed. It's the holidays. And this list is short. And I don't like short lists. I like long lists. I like to check them twice.
Oh.
This is the week of December 19th, the year of our Lord, 2024. This is what's coming out in Europe this week. Anime Dance-Off Around the World. Aquatic Life. Fish Simulator RPG. I read that as Aquatic Flesh, and it is not. It is Life Fish. Brothers in Hell. Brothers in Hell. Thank you. The Egg Console Aquapolis SOS MSX.
Egg cream.
Don't know any of that. Farm. Don't know anything about it, but I think it takes place on a farm. Heian City Story. Heian, the city story. Hidden Shy Cats and Dogs bundle. That makes sense if they're hidden. Indoor, if they're shy, I meant to say. Indoor gardening. Create your own home garden. Kaimu Maker.
Kaimu, not Caillou. Kaimu.
Leaf's Adventure, Netherworld Hero. Love Too Easily, Story of My Life.
Tell me
Played
about
that
it.
game a little too much.
Mhm.
Magical Christmas Tales. Thank you for being so timely with that
Thank you.
release. Quilts and Cats of Calico. Save Christmas with Santa. Thank you again for the timely release. Right on time.
Santa.
Also, Santa is the magical one. He should be saving Christmas himself, right? Usually, Christmas needs saving when Santa's in trouble.
He's got one thing to do all year long. He can't save his own Christmas.
SteamWorld Heist 2 and SteamWorld Heist bundle.
SteamWorld Heist 2 and SteamWorld Heist.
Well, SteamWorld Heist and SteamWorld Heist 2. It's a bundle. You can get them all together.
Those
Sugoi Girls Enchanting Elf. Another season.
Sugoi.
Sunhaven. Super Spy Raccoon. The Escape Room Chronicles Episode 3. And Winter Games Collection right in time for the season
Any
of winter.
comments there, Nicky?
We have one comment from Nico Darunia. The sweetest releases bring joy to all.
Nicky Hill, Nintendo recently added Wave Race 64 to Nintendo Music, and my social media lit up with people saying Nicky Hill and commenting Nicky Hill, and I was like, well, the fans are
Wow.
out there. They know.
There you go.
Forever associated with Wave Race.
And we're going to get rid of the sweet releases in 2025.
No, never.
You've been saying it for weeks. You don't say it when I'm here, but you say it when I'm not here.
I'm saying it right now.
Talking about it behind my back.
That's your top stories, people.
Yeah, I downloaded that music thing, and I got overwhelmed because I don't know what I want to listen to. You know.
So do one of the playlists. They got a winter playlist right now. They got a
Oh,
holiday
yeah?
playlist. Yeah. I was
Maybe
just
I'll-
looking at them.
Maybe I'll do that.
They just added a couple playlists.
There it is.
There
Winter.
you go.
Winter party. A snowy day.
Oh
Look
my
out
God,
the
it's
window.
right now. It's right now.
Seasonal events. Splat fests.
Mhm.
Ooh, I can listen to those during.
That's more of a
this.
personal
Yeah.
time thing.
And powering up, which
Power up.
comes right before and sometimes after the split.
All right.
That's inappropriate.
Nicky Hill, what have you been playing?
I've been playing the waiting game. I haven't played anything actually this week.
Okay, excellent.
We delete. I delete Royal Kingdom, and I got nothing to wake up to in the morning. Nothing to live
You can
for.
play something on your Switch.
What's that?
Yes, Salamaster Link. It is snowing here right now. It's true. I said you can play something on your Switch.
What's a
Hi,
Switch?
Zikamuto.
Yeah, it's a wintry mix. Stu, what have you been playing?
Ooh, little Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've got so many bells that I've just accumulated that I was like, you know what? Let me start finally messing around with some of these bridges, because as I built every bridge and incline that they let you build, but I was doing it when I was coming up. So I don't have like the fanciest bridges or the fanciest inclines. I've got like kind of a little bit more rustic, as you would say.
Hi, Tony
So-
Delamancha, and they say, look at Mr. Billionaire.
That's me. So I went to talk to my man Nook, and I mean things move a little slow on Nook Island. I've got the bells to pay, but you gotta go at his pace. So I've got to choose every day. I've been choosing a bridge to demolish, and then the next day you choose that location to put the fancier bridge, and then the next day it's up, and then you have to do it again. So he doesn't have a demolishing team and a building team. It
Wait,
seems
you-
like it's the same team, and they have to.
You mean go to the next bridge then, or like
Yeah,
you
you can-
demolish this bridge you just
You can
built?
only it's only a demolish or a build per day. So I demolish it one day, build the next day, demolish, build. So it's
but you're demolishing a different bridge.
yeah, it's moving slowly.
I
There's
say,
like
you
10
just
different
building
bridges.
and demolishing the same
What
bridges.
the
What
hell
is
would
this,
he
New
be
Jersey?
building a bridge for to demolish it?
Just spend his money.
Yeah, no, I've got a ton of bridges, ton of inclines. So it's actually been kind of rewarding putting fancy red Zen bridges everywhere. So not too bad with the snow falling. Quite lovely. Little lady snowblood on my island with no murder. So that's New Horizons. We've been playing some Fortnite. Nothing that we didn't talk about
Just
already.
having fun. I think we're doing pretty damn good this season.
Yeah, we have been playing pretty well. Lots of first places, and I'm going to be stepping away from playing Fortnite for the week because of family obligations and holiday time and stuff like that.
I'm so glad you picked that up.
And it was.
I'm so sorry, too.
It's okay.
I think you should get your mom to play. That way you don't have to
Mhm.
put it down.
That's right.
I think
You,
you
your
should
mom-
play with us because that was exactly the joke that RMC made the other night, and you could have beaten him to it.
I did.
And
You,
then it
your
would have
mom,
been
and your
no
brother
joke.
could all play. It'd be fun.
Yeah, that will never ever happen, sadly. But yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of Murphy's Law, Law and Order. It's like Murphy's Law that, or what? It's like some crazy. It's Deux Law that the Fortnite Winterfest starts today, literally the day that I stop playing, and luckily it goes on until like January 6th or something. So hopefully I can get.
You can play once you put your mom to bed.
Look, I'm going to be signing in just to go to the cabin and get my free daily gift. I just hope. Here's the thing. I want if they do the Snoop Dogg winter skin, I obviously want that. I don't want to miss out on that. But if they do, I'll be slightly bummed out that everybody gets a Snoop Dogg skin for free when I last season paid my hard-earned V-Bucks for Snoop Dogg. But you know what? I'd rather people be happy and get a fun skin than not. So in the spirit of the season, it's no sweat off my sack. my gift sack.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
I beat Sifu this week. And I started playing it again just because it's fun.
When you start again, do you go back to the original age?
Yeah, like you get to start at the age you were when you started that chapter. So there's 5 chapters you can replay, and you can go back before, like, and try to improve your age moving forward.
How old did you end up being?
I was, I think, because I bought myself 15 lives back. So with the 15 lives, I think I was 49. But what would that be, like 50? You know what? I was, I remember I was 40. Yeah, I was 49. So I would have been 64. I would have been 64 if I hadn't bought any lives.
Mhm.
But also, if you get too old, there's certain moves you can't learn anymore. So sometimes it's better to go back and like try to work on learning this particular move so that you know it when you're an old man. So there were like cool little things like that were fun. There was something about it because I don't know anything about Kung Fu. It seems pretty real to me, the animations and everything. I mean, it looks really good. And there's a lot of moves you can unlock. And there's like I mean, you could say this about any game. The more you play, the more you practice, the better you get. But like there's, particularly with Sifu, you feel like you're building a Kung Fu skill set, like you're almost learning Kung Fu yourself. Obviously, it's just buttons that you're pressing. But, there's a ton of stuff to learn. And, being able to use that and execute it in like all these situations is, I think, what makes it like what it is. It's one of those games that I don't know. It takes like you can play it casually, but there's something to be said for like the skill and the artistry of it. So I had a lot of fun with it, and
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, and I owe it all to. I don't owe it all
Secret
to anything,
Level.
but I was gonna say, yeah, it was because I saw the episode of Secret Level. That was one of my more favorite episodes. I've been enjoying Secret Level. It's not blowing my socks off, to be honest with you. I think a lot of the animation and the work that's been done is really good. I'm not. A lot of it seems very similar to each other, which is, I guess, not necessarily a bad thing. But they're all different games and isolated episodes, so you'd think that they wouldn't feel like kind of samey. But yeah, the Sifu episode was good, and I wanted to beat things up, and it's been giving me that kind of beat 'em up that I need, except this is a little classier. And then last but not least, I pulled the trigger on Balatro for The Switch
He
this
did
week?
it, people. He did it. There's been so many people on Patreon talking about this,
I wonder why.
and I wanted to know if you got it and what you think. So this is your time.
Did you mention it on Patreon? Or
I don't
why?
remember what. Well, I talked about it on the podcast last week, but I don't remember what happened that led people to thinking that you might check it out.
I might have
you
said
did?
it last podcast that I was interested in.
You did, and you got thoughts to share.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Very addictive. I played so much of it. If the Nintendo yearly review were just a little later, it might be on there. So yeah, I put a bunch of time into it. In classic Deux fashion, I played about 5 minutes and I was like, well, I wasted $15. This game stinks. And then literally 7 hours later, I peeled myself off the couch and was like, what's this pain in my stomach? Oh, I haven't eaten anything. And then I didn't even want to eat. I wanted to play more. So it's got that hold over me. Just the
Do you call it gambler?
and that's what's funny is like I don't look at it as gambling. I look at it as a rogue light, like a rogue light, I guess, where every round is different, and I'm just so excited to see what jokers I get, like or what the power ups are, because there's over 150 different jokers. They all do something different, and they come up randomly, and there's different things that you can buy, like different cards you can buy to kind of upgrade this and that.
Shovel, let's go down in the chat right now. We got the Joker showing up.
Nice. Yeah, it's just fun. And like sometimes you'll get a hand where you're like, this is unbeatable. I'm going to crush. And then you come to like some blind, like boss
All
blind.
cards are face down.
Yeah, and you're just like, what the heck is this crap?
Can't play the same hand twice.
Yeah, and then sometimes I'll like start with like I'll be like scrounging in the beginning, and it's like, what is this Joker? I don't have the money to switch and get a different one, so I'm just gonna pick it. And then by the end of the game, it's like some crazy powerful Joker that you had to like invest in the whole time. And man, when you have the multipliers going and you play a hand and it's just like boom, 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 and you're just over there like like, and then the more multipliers you have, the more like, because it starts as like a rhythm, like the payout is a rhythm, but it gets, the more multipliers you have, the faster it gets. And then like little things like that are very, I don't know, it just adds to the whole, because you're just playing cards, you're just throwing cards down. It really shouldn't be that interesting. And they do all these things to make your brain think that you're like really doing it. And it's just a lot of fun. The music's great. The music's excellent because it's easy enough to ignore and play for 7 hours and not have like be driven crazy by it. But it's also good enough to like listen to it and be like, this is great.
I love like how in between rounds it's the same song, but they switch. There's like multiple orchestrations of it, and it fades from one. It doesn't even fade. It just like merges from one version into the other when you go in between rounds.
It's very
really
seamless
cool.
In that respect.
That composer said today that their favorite game soundtrack of the year is Echoes of Wisdom.
Oh, cool.
So game recognized game.
Yeah, how about it? But yeah, man, Balatro is so addictive.
I knew Deux was deep into Balatro because I play games late, and there were a couple nights when I would go on my Switch and he was online, and I was like, if he's on now, he's got to be playing Balatro. And I'd go take a peek, and I was like, yep, he's deep into Balatro.
Yeah, I usually don't stay up past midnight, and if I do, I'm playing that because it's
Are you playing with other people?
No, it's all alone. And it's one of those things where like you'll be playing a game. And while you're playing it, you'll be like, all right, this is the last game. I got to go to bed. And literally the second you lose that game and that game is over, you're like, and you just start it again. And you don't even like talk about it with yourself. You just do it. And like, it could be 12:30 and then it's 1 a.m. And then you're like, what the heck? So I like really, really got into it. I've beaten the first chipset, like the first difficulty level with all the available decks now as of yesterday. So now I need, if I continue to play, which I'm sure I will, I've got to like put the chips to the next level, like play level 2 with all the decks and see how it goes. But But yeah, man, it's fun, and some of the jokers are real clever, and it's I don't know. There's just it's just a simple.
Yeah,
I don't want to say it's simple because it's not, but like it's easy to learn. There's a lot to it, and it feels daunting at first, like all those games, but like you learn it quickly. It's easy to learn, and once you learn it, it's like really fun to like focus on certain builds.
You've seen so much more of it in less time than I have. Like I said, I've only been playing it before I go to bed because I know how addictive it is. So I, play for like an hour or whatever. But I know I have jokers that I really like, but you've seen so many more joker options than I have. I know it.
Well, it's cool because you get, if you win with a deck, you get a mystery joker unlocks, or
Yeah.
if you get a certain amount of like hearts in your deck or something, you get a mystery. Like things will unlock as you do things that you didn't even know you were doing. It's just like part of playing. But yeah, really, really addictive. Lots of different. It's there's so many different like cards and bosses and stuff that like every playthrough, while similar, feels different enough. And
What's your favorite joker?
oh man,
Love that Joker.
yeah, I don't know. Like for me, it usually depends on like what my jokers are. You know what I mean? It's like tough to be like, I like this one joker off the top of my head, when I've had runs where like 5 of my jokers are like perfectly synchronized with each other, and I've like made the cards the way I want them to, like
Yeah.
you can like my favorite hand so far, I think, was I had a joker for flush, 2 jokers for flushes. So one, it would give me like chips for a flush, and it would give me a multiplier for a flush. And then I did like a card that gave multipliers for every heart. And then I had a card that did it was like all face cards give you 30, and then I had a card where it was like any card under like 5 gets to go again. And then so basically I would like throw a card at, and then it was like then there was a card that was like every card scores or something. So it was just like every card scores, like flush after flush. Every single time like a face card was thrown, it would get hit twice. And then the little cards would get hit like twice because they were bouncing back and forth off each other. And I mean, it was crazy. And like I got to a point where I played one hand, like put down 5 cards, and I got over 1 million chips. And I was like, I've done it. And then if you do endless mode, because after you beat the game, you can do endless mode and keep going, and it goes way higher than that. I couldn't even mess with it after that.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. It's addictive. It's fun. It's got that rogue light. I had to Google it. Rogue light, technically.
Roguelike and roguelite
to it. And it's just so easy to get into. It's like a different type of Hades, It's just like every time you love to play it, you love to build yourself up a certain way, and then as soon as it's over, you want to play it again. So I'm glad that I invested in it. It's great to have on the Switch. And yeah, the presentation's excellent. I really, really enjoy it. It's got all the praise it deserves.
It just won Game of the Year at the inaugural Indie Game Awards last night. So another feather in Local Funk's cap. Congratulations to him. And you can say, now you know why it was nominated Game of the Year. It's very worthy of being a contender. So
yeah, definitely. And it didn't take long. Like I said, it was 5 minutes of hating it, 3 days straight of loving it.
See, yeah, I was gonna say, seems to be a trend. Like you watch 6 minutes of the Simpsons episode, and you're like, nope, and then you went back and you're like, it's
well, I'm like that with a lot of things, but I think in this case particularly, it's because with a roguelite, or with a builder like this, when you start out, the first hand is crap because you have no jokers, you don't have anything. So it's like, so I was just like, I'm just playing poker, big deal, like, and then it smacked me in the face with the jokers.
It's good stuff. It's very good stuff.
Yeah, so love it. Thank you very much for listening to all of that. And RMC, what have RMC, what have you been playing?
Well, now I want to know what we almost had there.
I was going to talk about Beyond Good and Evil, but I don't
Oh,
have to. I didn't
Thank
play
you
it.
for asking. I was busy.
Oh, you didn't play? I got my Beyond Good and Evil 2. Did you get it?
I didn't buy it.
Also, not
I've been busier this week, so I didn't get to play as much, but I'm only playing what I've been playing. So I played Fortnite, had a lot of fun there. Had a great game with my mom and my cousin, where I died a really stupid death towards the end, and my cousin died shortly after, and it was just my mom and one other person. And she got the dub for us. She got the victory royale, and we saved a clip of it, and it's a shining moment.
That's awesome.
She was getting shot in the top of the head from somebody above her, and she managed to jump up with the sword and sneak around him and slice and dice him and took him out. And I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. It was amazing. And we were like screaming and cheering for her, and she was laughing. Man, it was so great.
You
so
got to
great.
clip that.
Yeah, I got it. I could send it to the chat right now.
There's one on Deux Views I posted this week that I'm particularly proud of. I don't know if you got a chance to see it.
I'm very behind in all that. I have that page bookmarked on my desktop because I want to get in and watch all of them, because there's a lot of YouTube stuff this week, and I'd be like, oh, but there's like 4 Deux Views, and I want to
think I called it King of the Mountain or something like that. But basically, these guys were up on this mountain. I was in the storm. I ran up to get our friend's card, and while the storm's hitting for 5, 2 guys were up there, and I swung at them with the sword, knocked them off.
Yes, I heard you did that when we were playing, but I wanted to see it. I got to go watch it.
It's incredible. I just felt so great, and pulled out like a med kit right as like the storm was about to get me, like totally lived. It was insane. And what was funny is when we played, I knew it was awesome and I was really proud of it, but it wasn't until I edited the video the next day that I realized the storm was ticking for 5. I was almost dead. I didn't even see any of that. I saw the card and I just got lucky with the swing. That's all I saw.
I put my mom's victory royale in the Discord, so you can see that clip if you want. I played what I've been playing. So I played a little Balatro, nothing really to say there because I was just playing before bed. Loving it, want to put more time in with it, but I spent most of my time with Mario and Luigi Brothership and Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. In Mario and Luigi Brothership, I just completed the island where you first meet the cold guy and the hot girl who are in love with each other, and they get thrown in jail by the weirdo on that island. So I did that whole one, which is a little bit of a mystery, who's causing trouble on the island. So I did that, and that was fun. And then I did a couple side quests. Still really enjoying that game. And over in Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake, as I said last time, I am going around the world collecting the orbs. And I finally got to a part of the game where I was getting my butt kicked. There's one where there's this town that everybody is dead in the town, but they don't know it. So when you go at night, they're alive. But if you go any other time than night, they're all skeletons dead. So you have to go at night, and there's this one guy who's trapped in a jail, and you have to get this, I forget what the key is called, the universal key or something that
Which game
unlocks
is
every door.
this?
Dragon Quest. So I got the universal key, and I went and I unlocked it, and he's like, let me give you the orb. And then this enemy boss comes in and is like, not without fighting me. This boss kicked my butt so many times, and I still have not beaten him. And it's not like a big boss. It's 2 types of enemies, and I forget what they are, but there's 3 of each. And they wipe the floor with me because I just cannot take them all out, because when you kill one of them, the other ones are like, they'll call in a friend, and they replace it with another, and they replace it with another, and they replace it with another. And I just, like, I had, like, one of the rounds was like a war of attrition where I was in there for like a half hour hanging on by a thread, and there were 2 of them left, and I knew if I got one more round, I would have been able to take him out. Like, one more round of attacks from me would have done it. but they snuck in a call in more friends, and both of them did it. So I went from 2 left to 4, and I was like, that's it, I'm farted. And they took me out. So I'm like, I can get the orbs in any order. So I'm like, I'm going to have to come back to this one later when I've got better gear and when I've leveled up more. So I couldn't do that one. So I went and did another one where they only let you go into a dungeon solo. And I did that one and I got that orb, and that was a little challenging, but I was okay. And now I'm somewhere else where I forget what's going on. Somebody died in a town, and I'm going. What did I do? Somebody died. Oh! I remember what it is. There's this guy in a castle who's a real piece of crap, and he's causing trouble in the town, and you have to go. It's obvious something happened to this guy. He's under some spell, or he's some monster or something or whatever. Hi, SD, if I didn't say that. And he somebody in town is like, you got to go to this cave and get this mirror, and this magic mirror, if you show it to him, he'll see his true self and he'll snap back to normal. So I went to the place where I have to get this mirror, and I don't know what awaits me in there. Well, enemies, obviously, but that's where I stopped and quit. So I put in like a good chunk of time with both of those games, but really only 2 nights this week I got to spend time with it. But I played for like 4 hours of each of them. So I'm loving it, having a ton of fun. And like I said, that's why I keep Balatro to just bedtime, because if I played Balatro outside of that, that would gobble up all my time. So yeah, I'll keep that in mind, SD, for Patreon. So that's what I played. Nicky Hill
is fun.
The game is fun. Before I forget, I've been meaning to ask you this for weeks. Nicky Hill grabbed off the shelf in the podcast room Mr. Sketch scented markers, which are things that were around when we were kids. I want you to smell this one, and it's particularly you. Smell this and tell me
the things, but
it doesn't. I'm not asking for what the scent actually is. I'm asking for what it reminds you of, or if it reminds you of something. He's smelling the brown one, which is cinnamon, but I don't think it smells like cinnamon. But that's beyond the point.
Sharpie.
Does it remind you of anything? Because I opened that one and I smelled it, and I was transported to somewhere. Exactly.
No, I'm not getting it.
Okay. It won't mean anything to you, but enjoy the smell.
Like grade school or something.
It reminds me 100% of grade school art class with the marker bins. Remember how they had the big plastic bins filled with markers? That is what the room always smelled like. And I was like, it was the brown marker that overtook everything.
Wow.
It smells like I was instantly transported back to. Yeah, it's like 3rd, 4th grade art class. Like, exactly.
That was when you had that like problem with eating all the markers too, though.
You know, you don't need to bring that up.
Really?
No, not true.
After art class, he'd come down to social studies, and he'd have like just like.
Well, when they smell like cinnamon, how could you not?
I'm kidding. Don't eat your markers, kids.
Oh, that cherry. It's a good one.
I always like the cherry. I always like the cherry.
That's right. As he says, on this podcast, we huff markers. That's what we're doing. We're smelling markers.
See,
but they're meant to be.
That is a scent.
That's what we're talking about.
That brown one just smells like a marker.
The brown one doesn't just smell like a marker. It's got a scent. It doesn't smell like cinnamon, but it's got a scent.
It's quite light of a scent for me.
The brown one?
For me, yeah.
Really? For me, this is the first time for me smelling this marker. Yeah, so we have another friend that's coming to visit who was in grade school with us, and I'm going to have them smell this marker and see if they get the thing, because I only have so many people I can ask. I got to ask Lube. There's you. I got to ask this other friend that's
definitely
coming.
Smells like urine stained underwear.
Ooh, it's banana. I thought that was going to be lemon.
You know, I thought
That's gross.
I would go with lemon as well. And you'd think like lemon's such an easy scent to get. I guess
Right.
banana is, but like fake banana.
But
whatever.
it smells
banana
like,
organ.
like such a harsh fake banana smell that it just smells like
right.
It smells like
Preset.
butt crack.
Guys, we have questions. Send your questions at goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
goninpod@gmail.com.
Maybe I will.
You can send in questions about Nintendo video games in general or whatever the hell you want. Red Souza says, hey, Pod Crew, it's Red Souza with some questions. I've been listening for like 15 years, and I've been thinking of sending some questions for about the same amount of time. Well, thank you for pulling the trigger. They had multiple questions, so I'll do them all in the weeks to come, but we'll have one for today. If there was a GoNintendo Podcast indie game, what would be your perfect genre? An Earthbound like with all the crew?
Didn't we have this question?
This is brand new. A cost puzzle hidden object with the pod table? What about a gritty noir detective game where Deux, his spiders, and his flies
Ooh.
suss out new rumors?
I like that.
That's a good question.
I mean, I like the Earthbound one because I think that makes sense. And we got 4 people that are usually here. So me, Deux, Nicky Hill, and Mom Brain on some kind of weird Earthbound-like adventure. I'd be all about that.
That would
That'd
be
a
so
ton of fun.
cool.
Or like a Four Swords adventure thing where like everybody plays on their own systems, but like the twist is that only one person can win it.
So you
Why
have
would
your
you just
friends
not say
get to
Final
the
Fantasy
end,
Crystal
and then you have to
Chronicles?
fight each
Why
other?
would you say 4 Swords?
Oh,
It's Crystal Chronicles.
I know. I'm trying not to make it that
understand.
obvious.
Mhm, yeah.
I wanted to get to the punchline
Might
before
I
you
add.
caught on.
Mhm. Well, there's our picks. The detective one would be fun too. I that would be a lot. With the lore of the podcast and do spiders and flies, I imagine you could come up with something really
I
interesting.
mean, I could probably look through the list of the rumors of the week, and like, there's got to be 1 or 2 that could be fleshed out into something
Oh, definitely,
funny and freaky.
very, very easily, without a doubt. SD, I see that. I was waiting to see if somebody would post that, and I'm glad you caught it. Thank you. We also have a Patreon question. Did you know, that you could join the GoNintendo Patreon
For $1.
for $1? Freddie Fro did, and they say they have several facial hair mini questions. So these are all related to the same topic, so that's why I'm reading them all. RMC, have you ever thought about shaving off your beard? What made you decide to grow it out so long? I have
That's
thought
a
about
good
shaving it off, but not like a lot. I have shaved it off in the past, but it's been a very long time. What made me grow it out? I just wanted to grow it out because I thought it would be fun and I didn't like shaving, and that's all that it is. So I just now it wouldn't feel right if I didn't have it. And there's never times where it bothers me and I'm like, this damn thing, I wish I got rid of it. Just,
Well-
every once in a while I'll be like, I wonder what it'd be like, but I know what it'd be like.
You've had it for so long that it's second nature, all the things you have to do. But
Mhm.
like, I'm sure there's things like every time you take a bite, you have to like
Yeah.
move your mustaches out of your way and stuff. And
Yeah, but it's not stuff that like bothers me. I'm just doing that's what I'm saying. You're right. It's second nature. And there's plenty of things that I do, but there's never anything where I'm like, this, I'm so annoyed with this beard. But
well, right. And I guess you're a straw man for forever, right? There's no way to just drink regularly if you don't want.
and
smelly
I
mustache.
always use a straw. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I like straws anyway, so it's fine. But I if we're like out at a restaurant or something, and they don't bring straws, I'm like, I get like nervous about it. But yeah, I'm a straw man for life. That's true.
It's keeping its color. I mean, a couple
I
of
definitely got gray on the
couple
sides,
of
but
grays
we're hanging
came in,
there.
but like it stopped there. Like it.
So far, we'll see where I'm at 5 years from now, but we're hanging on. And I'm gonna, I'm not gonna dye it. The only time I would dye it if it was a stupid fun color. I'm not gonna be like, oh, the grays. I don't give a crap.
I'm
about any of that.
surprised we haven't dyed. We must have dyed. The
I
beard,
dyed
right?
it once. Oddly enough, I'm sorry, I'm having a total brain fart. I showed you that picture that Angela sent. Did I not?
I don't believe.
Well, excellent. I'll show it to both of you now because it's related to the topic. Angela sent. Oh, I didn't send it to you because you're not in it. That's why I was like, why wouldn't I send this to you? Angela sent a picture from when we were
wow.
on our Disney World trip in senior year, and in that picture, I have it doesn't look like it, but my beard and my hair are dyed. You can see
That's
with my hair. And
unbelievable.
our friend Angela was the one that did it. And I liked the dyed beard, but I almost died while doing it because I could not breathe. Because
Oh,
I was
that's
just breathing
right.
in the stuff. And Mom Brain and Angela were like laughing when I was like, I can't breathe. And I'm like, no, like seriously, I can't breathe. I was like, I need like straws or something so I can breathe. I can't get away from this smell. So I haven't done it since then because it was that scary.
If you ever got a voucher, because I know you wouldn't do it yourself, but if you ever got like a voucher to go to a place and have it professionally like done up with the tinfoil and the whatever, like you would do that?
I'd do
Nice.
it. Yeah, that'd
That would
probably
be-
be really expensive.
That'd be so awesome.
And I was talking to Angela the other day saying how much I miss going to the barber shop or the beauty salon. I went to beauty salons instead of barbershops because I just miss like the like getting your head shampooed and oh my god, I lived for that. The nice
You
warm
never get
hot
your hair
water.
as clean as when somebody else
I
is
think that's true.
professionally washing
I
it. And I
think
don't
that's true,
understand
yeah.
why. Like,
Yep.
I massage my scalp
I
the
l-
same way.
Man, I
like,
loved that. Just laying your head down in the sink basin and
It
letting
really
it
does
oh
feel
my
nice,
god, it was
doesn't it?
so good. Yeah. But we don't know those pleasures
Not
anymore. Jim.
anymore. Not anymore.
But part 2 of this question is related to you guys,
Hey yo.
Deux and Nicky. Have you ever thought about growing out your beard as long as RMC's?
I've never
good
thought about
question.
growing it out that long, but I used to have a big bushy one.
You had a sizable beard. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, you can really do it.
You
And,
had one too, though. You were really growing it out. You kept it going.
yeah. I'm seeing what's going to happen this time around. So we'll
so
see.
You're not doing it?
I don't think
Oh.
I could. I don't think I could ever make it to your length RMC and have like the patience to like stick it out. I just don't think I would, sadly, because I've often wondered how far can it go? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like how far can it really
There's a
go?
terminal length. Yeah.
So like I'm definitely interested in that, and I've never let it go too crazy. It's gotten longer than this, but like, yeah, I don't know, for some reason. I don't want to be dramatic or anything, but I was like, you know what? Let's see what happens. So I'm gonna let it.
Dramatic.
I'm gonna let it grow for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
SD, the color was red. Sorry. Not like cartoon red. It was like, hair red. Malakayla says, I'm jealous of guys who can grow nice beards. Mine grows in all patchy. Well, as I said, I have a spot on my face where I can't grow facial hair. It just doesn't grow, but you would never know. You just have to get it long enough and then you don't know.
How about it?
It's like over here somewhere. It's just nothing grows, but yeah, you'd never know.
Have you ever had a beard pulling problem?
Beard pulling problem?
Like you just like pull one out when you're stressed or anything?
No.
That's good.
Have you?
Yeah, I used to do that, and like I wonder now if it contributes. I don't know anything about it, and I've never looked into it, but I wonder if it contributes to like how gray my chin is, because most of the beard hairs that were pulled were from the chin area. But it also seems like it would be that's BS, because
I got no
it
idea.
seems as full as it was. It's just gray.
I got no idea. I would say no off the top of my head, but I don't have any information to back that
And
up.
I don't do it anymore. I've stopped myself from doing it.
Well, when you said beard pulling, I almost answered yes, because I do have that problem all the time, but not in the way you meant it. I'll have like I'll go to get the cat's dry food out of the container, and I'll close the container, and then I'll go to put it down, and I pull my face over because part of my beard got stuck in the container. I didn't realize it. So that's my beard pulling issues. Tenevision says, I've got tons of places I can't grow hair. My hands, the bottom of my feet, inside my mouth. Yeah, I know. We all have our own crosses to bear. So I'm so sorry, Tenevision. And then Freddie Frost says, Mom B, what kind of facial hair would you rock? I'll make sure she gets this question, and I will let you know the answer.
Van Dyke, I think.
What's a Van Dyke?
Like real thin goatee and like pointy.
No, I was thinking like some sort
devil.
of chops.
Well, she had an Andy Dick haircut. So whatever, if Andy Dick has ever had facial hair, that's probably what she would go with. So that's our questions. Nicky Hill, are we doing music?
We can try.
Oh my God. Send your music to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
goninpod@gmail.com. Please put music in the title. How about your local mom brain or Nicky Hill? We got a real throwback here. He used to be the music maestro.
This is gonna, yeah, and I used to do it on an iPod. Like,
I remember.
I used to download them all. Back before we had YouTube.
I got music. You want to hear it? Was it really that long? Oh.
Well, YouTube was there, and people, but we would kind of keep people from submitting that way. So let's hope I did something all right here. Also, I gotta
steal his iPad cord.
Can I just plug this?
It's never been done before.
Do it from here.
From there. And this looks like it's fun.
That was
Oh.
Sounds like that could do the doozy. Let's see if I can handle this. This came from Jess I, and I apologize if these are songs that have already been played recently. I probably messed it up. This is from Jess I. This is a song from Jess I.
River City Girls.
No, I just to say I wanted to do a little more research on some of these, and I completely forgot by the time I finished setting it up. So don't ask questions.
What system?
I don't know. Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't know. Licensed?
No. I don't think.
I got no clue here.
It's pretty good.
Oh, it looks like it may have been. Yeah, it was an animated series. I didn't know that.
Biker Mice from Mars.
No.
SWAT Cats.
No.
James Bond Jr.
No.
I got no idea.
That was pretty good.
Stone Protectors.
Yes, it was a Ninja Turtles-esque kind of show. I
With
never watched it, but
trolls.
I know it. Yeah.
So they
Pretty good.
sold troll toys.
10 out of 10. Tastes just like
Okay,
orange.
So that's excuse me 1 second. Gonna just try to do something here. Okay. That's a thumbs down on that one. The second song comes from Nico Darunia. See if we can do this.
Oh, well. Come on. One of my favorites in that game. One of my favorites in the whole series, to tell you the truth. Beep, boom, beep, 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 beep. Beep, boom, beep, beep, beep. Do you have this?
Oracle of Ages.
No, but very close.
Link's Awakening.
Yes. This is
Correct.
Telltale Heights. Love that song.
Yeah, that's good.
I used to go to Telltale Heights just to listen to the song.
We did it. So this person, I'm sorry, I don't want to just read your email out. It's Matthew. I also won't use your last name right now because I don't want to.
I'm not going to read it.
So I won't do it. So I apologize, but if you sent this in, you know who you are.
Man. Is it just regular NES? It sounds
I believe so.
Why does this sound familiar? And I feel like I just heard it too.
I mean, it's been on many other systems, but Nintendo Entertainment System seems to be the one. Oh, I was also on Game Boy Color. PlayStation.
Okay, I'm getting somewhere. I know that instrument, but this doesn't make sense. That Bubble Bobble 2?
Rainbow Islands, the story of Bubble Bobble 2.
Ooh!
Wow.
I'll take it. That instrument is the Bubble Bobble instrument. That's the only reason I got it.
So I'll give you that. I'll give a thumbs up to that. Are you doing thumbs up there? You keeping track?
I am keeping track.
Keep track of this. This next one comes from. Oh, hold on. I've got multiple things to do here. Sorry.
Multiple things. What did they say?
This one's from Wired. I don't know if this is gonna play.
Oh my god! I just listened to the soundtrack yesterday. Great soundtrack. Game makes me so sad though. It's so good until the end. I'm gonna let go a little bit because we got time, and it's my favorite composer. So
Real ahead of time.
Is this Lorelei and the Laser Eyes? Or no, it's that other one that you played that you liked up until the end.
I like Lorelei all the way through.
I know, that's why.
This is like the game I played that I was like, I can't think of any other game that blew it more at the end of this game.
I don't remember what it was.
It's oh boy, now I'm getting all the words screwed up. Harmony? Wrong. Reverie?
Yes.
Reverie, harmony. Reverie, something of harmony.
Wrong. I don't know.
Oh, reverie. Then.
The Fall of Reverie.
The Fall of Reverie. That's it.
I'm giving it to you.
Yeah, I got harmony, reverie. They're all there. Don't hum and haw
Fall.
me. You gave it to me.
I gave it to you. It's what was that one that you were saying? The
Smiths. The Queen is dead.
The Depths in the Dark or whatever, that one game, and like you were like, it's this, it's the this of this, it's the this of this. And
Yeah.
it was like
I went through
totally.
like 10 different iterations and they were all wrong.
So
Wrong.
So you did that. Real proud of you.
Still wakes the deep.
Yeah. So this one comes from Human Fart. I just want to make sure I'm on the one.
Smash Brothers. Melee. The Zelda level.
Golly.
Wow.
I mean, me, John Savage, Kyle, Lou. This is forever burned into my memory. We had, Jesus, like 6-hour sessions on that map alone.
Yeah, so that is Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Beep, 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 beep.
This next one, sorry, try to keep this in here, is from Storvis Corbin. Whoops, got right into it.
You know this one. From a fantastic soundtrack. I don't know how much you've actually played the game, but you know this soundtrack.
It's beautiful.
We were just talking about this soundtrack the other day, too.
It's very Katamari-esque.
That's it.
Katamari Damacy reroll.
Yes, and I've been asked to play it till at least 45 seconds in. Got 10 more seconds.
Let's
Let's
say
let it go.
Katamari.
No, I think it's like the kids' voices or whatever. Maybe it's just to hear the whole section of kids' voices.
There you
Let
go.
me say Katamari. Yes.
I don't know why it's so pleasing, but I've just always loved the Katamari music.
Well, that whole guitar thing there, or whatever it is, it's just like so calming
Yeah.
and like just So that was Katamari Damacy Reroll. Next song comes from Tony De La Mancha.
This is The Messenger.
Correct. The Messenger.
That song is also in Sea of Stars, but a different version of it because they take
Rare.
place in the same universe.
Mamma mia.
This next song
Didn't
comes
get the
from
message on
Sergio
that.
LB64. Number one Dumpkins.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing. Well, it's got kids, so I'm gonna guess Near Automata.
You got
Hell
there.
yeah.
Near
Hell
Automata.
yeah.
You got there. It was the first thing he said.
That's a very big soundtrack, and I know a lot of the songs. That one wasn't sticking out, but a lot of them have kids singing on it.
Could have also been Katamari Damacy reroll, apparently.
Mm.
Kids singing. That's what I'm going by there. Okay, next one comes from Slacker Monkey.
It's Zelda. Yeah, it's Twilight Princess. No, it's Wind Waker. What am I saying? It's Wind Waker.
Correct. Wind Waker.
It's,
Legend of Zelda, the Wind
sand.
Waker.
The sand guy. The big wormy sand guy, right?
Yeah,
Judging by this photo,
Molduga or something like that. I don't know.
I believe so.
Molgera.
There you go.
Bam,
They're all know
Bam
somebody.
Molgera.
Bam Molgera. And Don Tingle.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. All right, we only got one left. You're probably gonna get this one too.
Okay.
Blood Ocean 07.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of like artwork of Don.
I was
Vito
thinking of the
in a
exact same
Tingle
thing, yeah.
outfit.
Thinking Tingle being like, what do you want?
But my map. What do you mean a map? Mr. Fair.
I was thinking getting directions for somebody that sounds like that would be very difficult. Well, I got two guesses. It's rare. Okay. I'm going to go Banjo Tooie.
You got there. It's Banjo Tooie, Hailfire Peaks. And when I sat down, we were talking about the weather outside. I said it was hellfire and brimstone. It brought it all together. Brought it all back.
I remembered it,
Happy
but I didn't
New
remember it
Year!
as good. So that's why I went Tooie.
Actually, we have a week before New Year's.
We got 9 out of 10, baby.
Not too shabby.
9 out of 10.
Man,
See
it
what
was a
happens
good round.
when
picked good
when
ones.
Mom Brain's not here. I throw the softballs.
That's
at
right.
you.
That's right. I'll take it.
I think she actually like searches through and like she builds
Who
playlists.
knows the methods of her madness? Not
Bless
I.
her. Bless her.
And
We miss you, Mom Brain. We speak your name, Mom Brain.
speak
Hi,
your
Sticer.
name.
Good to see you, and thanks for joining us. And that's it. That's all we got.
That's all
Oh.
we got. Everybody
You'd like
have a
that,
nice
wouldn't you?
holiday
Well,
if you celebrate it.
well,
There's a lot of holidays coming up.
there's people all over are going to have a nice holiday because, ladies and gentlemen, Deux Views.
Oh,
it's
it's
never
a
news.
Christmas miracle.
Rumor of the week with
Holiday
Deux
season
Michaels.
I could have swore it was starring.
Ladies and gentlemen, out in Radioland, you know, if you listen to this, that you at the end of the show can look forward to a rumor brought to me, delivered by me to you from originally my spiders and my flies, which are creeping and crawling all over the video game space to find rumors.
That's right.
That's right. So now, without further ado, here's a rumor. Actually, there's one more further ado. Usually on Deux Views, the rumors are just exactly that, rumors. This week, the rumor is proven true, ladies and gentlemen. We have a
true gift.
rumor.
Wow,
From old
sneaking
Saint
it in
Nick,
there. Yeah,
perhaps.
you're right. It's a real present.
Doesn't happen often, but it's happening here. And so we were talking a little bit earlier about Nintendo stock, right?
We talk about Nintendo from time to time.
Yeah. So
Beef stock.
here's what the spiders and flies have brought to my attention. Charles Martinet is at it again for the ambassador program. He was spotted in Germany with Nancy Pelosi. They were talking about Nintendo stocks and ways that she could make a lot of money buying and selling it. And he got a little, apparently things got even more interesting because remember we talked about how he's an assassin as well because of the ambassadors program. So she didn't fall, she was pushed apparently. And
Mamma mia.
Yep. And she's got but on top of all that, Charles Martinet and Nintendo didn't want this to become a big thing, so they had Professor E. Gadd make a nice mechanical hip for her. And then they had Dr. Mario installed it. The hip.
Okay, all right.
So,
all in network is what you're saying.
exactly.
So she's got
yeah.
a terrible infection because he never went to school for being to be a doctor.
He gave her the right red and blue pills.
Yes,
He just
yeah.
didn't get the yellow ones down.
Listen, I
so-
got red, I got blue, and I got yellow. What combination do you want?
So I know that sounds outlandish, folks, but
true.
that is an absolutely true
Your spiders
story.
and flies have been bringing in a lot of Charles Martinet stuff lately. I've noticed.
International stories,
But this one's true. So
it's How
How do these spiders? I mean, I guess
yeah,
do the flies carry some of these spiders overseas?
you can't say this. What are you crazy?
just-
Do you want to get killed?
They're just their reach is.
I don't want to
It's
reveal
far
too
and wide.
much. We've already had a little bit of a security issue this year. The knock list of the names of all my spiders and flies were illegally downloaded from a
Dark web.
yeah, from like a museum in Amsterdam. And Tom Cruise was. Wait, no, that's just the Mission Impossible movie. Anyways. I should be, if you do podcast on Saturday, I should be here this coming week.
Tomorrow?
I shouldn't, sorry,
Tomorrow, yeah.
sorry, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, I should be here.
Yeah, as far as I know.
So more hijinks like this, listeners. Isn't that exciting?
This isn't hijink. That was the truth, though. It's an inside scoop.
Oh,
I'm not.
hijinks doesn't mean truth. I thought that's.
What is next week?
Next
For
week,
some reason, I feel like
Saturday
I might not be
is the
able to.
28th. But that's this show, everybody. Merry Christmas Eve and Christmas and Hanukkah and
Happy
Kwanzaa
Hanukkah,
and
Kwanzaa.
everything else that people celebrate now. Because
Have
I
a
don't
tip top
know,
tet.
not from insensitivity, but just because I honestly don't know. If you're celebrating anything, I hope you have a great time. I hope you get all the gifts you deserve from Santa or whatever. If you're getting
Spend
presents,
some
I
time
hope you
with
get
your
what you want.
family. Play a game or two. Can you play Balatro multiplayer?
No, but yes, because I played it with my mom where we were just playing it. I was in control. It was on the TV and we were both talking about what we
Surprise.
should do. So
Oh, okay.
it's like a spectator sport kind of.
Yeah.
And we had fun doing that. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, just have a good time. And if you don't want to have a good time, then
Have a bad time.
then don't have a good time. Do what you want. And yeah.
Oh, and yeah, I guess next week we'll have some kind of game of the year or something or other. Something. I have stuff that I've done. I don't know. There will be something.
Next week I'm
each
going to
year
go
gets
through my
harder for me.
breakdown of my Duncan year end.
There you go.
How
Nicky Hill's
okay,
Duncan
here's
year
a
in
question.
review.
Why are these year-end things happening before the end of the year? Like you just said, Balatro has taken up so much time and we're still in December. Why not release that end of the year, like that full year review in January when
Because
the
people
year is
don't
over?
care then. That's old news.
They only don't care because they don't have it available then. You know,
I don't
if it was
think so.
released January 1st, people would still be talking about it.
No, I don't. Well, people would be, yes.
It
but I-
also, it's like, especially in the case of like the Duncan thing, it's like, this is what I did. This is how much I spent there this year. Resolution. I'm not spending as much money on sugar bombs that I don't need.
Speaking of that, Kringle for you too.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you
Thanks
next
for
week. Goodbye,
listening.
everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
everybody.
Goodbye.
I've been a good boy, Santa.
Oh. Oh man, I'm glad that's not part of the show, but I hate that that's part of the after show. After show. There was something I was going to talk about, and it left my brain.
Has
just
anyone-
now?
Since I mentioned it, last week or 2 weeks ago, anyone seen anything about the Yule Cat?
No.
No.
It came up on my feed
Yeah,
recently.
I haven't seen any Yule Cat.
I've seen Bridgerton Yule log. I've seen.
Oh, did you see the? This is what I called you about the other day. Animal. Nope. No. Adult Swim. Animal Spice. I was going to say, but that's.
I love watching Animal Spice on
Adult
the
Swim.
Cartoon Network.
Their Yule log is like a short horror film
I've not seen.
where like the Yule log is going around murdering people and like
I don't like that.
this person is
Not
so
my
it's
Christmas.
not really
Not my Yule log.
yeah, so it's like a story. It's not just like a Yule log.
Solomon Link bringing up Secret Level. I still only have watched the Pac-Man episode, so that's all I got for you. Duke could tell you much more.
Yeah, like I said, I watched most of them. There's only like 3 or 4 episodes I haven't seen yet. And it like looks good. Like I don't know. RMC's the animation guy. I think it looks good. Most of them. It's just they're very samey. There's a lot of like mech suits and space toughs and whatever, but there's like, you know, some cool stuff too. There was a really cool thing with the dragon. I liked the Sifu episode. The more I've been thinking after speaking with you, RMC, I've appreciated the Pac-Man episode more. I thought the Mega Man episode was kind of lacking.
That's exciting.
It's
the only one I really
one of the
look forward
shortest.
to.
It's one of the shortest
I
episodes.
heard that online. I heard it's like 5 minutes or something.
It's
like,
like
Jesus.
it's 9, but still it goes
9.
quick. And I want to like Dr. Light so much, but he just comes off kind of bumbling in this. But anyways,
Crossfire? Like, it's not the Crossfire that we know.
Who said Crossfire?
This is right here, Crossfire. I'm looking at the titles.
I don't know.
Because none of these
What-
games are any, like, there's hardly any games that I actually have experience with. Will I enjoy this?
That was another thing too. I mean, this is my fault, but I didn't know over 50% of the games. Like either never heard of them or had never heard of them but never played them. So I'm not really the guy to ask about whether or not these stay true to the games themselves.
Like, these are
but
very specifically like
there
a
was
different type of gamer than me. Like, it doesn't
Dungeons
really
and
appeal to me.
Dragons, Sifu, New World, Unreal Tournament, Warhammer, Pac-Man, Crossfire, Armored Core, The Outer Worlds, Mega Man, Exodus, Spelunky, Concord, Honor of Kings, and
the Armored Core one I liked a lot, and then I also liked the Outer Wilds one. That one was kind of good. There's
Outer Worlds.
Thank you.
Just because there are two different.
Thank
two
you.
different games.
That's what it is. And then there's one with Arnold Schwarzenegger that's pretty good actually. He's
Last Action Hero.
To be honest, I didn't think I got nothing against Arnold, but like I didn't think he was that great as a voice actor. Not that you're looking to Arnold for acting, but like I thought the episode was decent.
I know I've at least heard of all these games, but as far as what ones I'm interested in seeing shorts about, Sifu, Pac-Man, Mega Man, Spelunky. I'd say that's it for me, really. So
Yeah, you know, I don't mind watching them, not knowing anything about them, even
Yeah.
if I'm not interested. And they're so short, most of them, that
Yeah.
it's like fine. It's been fine. So I kind of like Love, Death, and Robots better. I hate to compare it, but it is a similar kind of thing.
I was going to say I'll just on my walk on the treadmill tonight, I'll watch all of them. That should take up most of that time. But then I remembered that it's Silo Day, so a new episode of Silo is out. So I have to, I gotta force myself to watch Silo. So I'm gonna.
It's that bad,
watch
huh?
Silo. I am really.
Man, they've just filmed.
But again,
seasons 3 and 4.
I
too.
don't like. Listen, I'm in a minority because every article I see is like the best sci-fi show you don't know about is getting more seasons, and the best sci-fi everyone should be watching. And I'm like, what am I? Because I talked to my sister, and she was on that team. And then there was an episode where I was like, even you have to admit that was a horrendous episode. And she's like, yeah, that was like really particularly bad. So I don't know. Whatever people are getting out of the show, I am not getting because I just see like a bunch of idiots that make decisions that don't make any sense. And the story is not engaging and common. So, but
Bummer.
you know, common's whatever. But yeah, I gotta watch that because that takes up a big chunk of my walk. It's like an hour and 5 minutes I can get out. I can't not watch it, and I don't want to. I don't want to not watch it because I know if I don't watch one and they start to pile up, I'll be like, oh no, I got so
That'll
many.
be really hard.
So I want to watch that. On the flip side, to be positive, I am really liking Dune Prophecy, and that got picked up for season 2, and the finale is this weekend. So
How's my boy in it? I love that guy, the Ragnar Lothbrok.
you're gonna have to tell me.
Travis Himmel, or something like that. He's got these piercing blue eyes.
Oh, I know who you're talking
He's
about.
the rogue. He's always
How
a
is
rogue.
he in this show? He is He's equal parts fantastic and bad, but he's not bad. It's just like his character is like very. If you think of it in real world terms, if you met this man, you'd be like, it's like the equivalent of like a dastardly villain twirling his mustache. You'd be like, this guy's clearly up to something.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
But
He's-
he's very enjoyable to watch. Yes, he's like it's cranked up to 11 with this character, but everybody knows he's got abilities and he's doing stuff, so that's clear.
yeah.
There, some are like not seeing his underlying motives, whatever. But he is just fun to watch. Yes, and he's got like a cadence to him, and I don't know. You watch it and you're like, this man scares me, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of attracted to him.
He's great. I first saw him in Vikings. He plays Ragnar, the main character, and he's excellent in it. And I think he kind of got typecast as like, not that he plays a Viking and everything, but he's just got that like unhinged wildness about him. And like
that is
he
in
was
this, for sure.
he was in that weird HBO show that I watched with the robots in space, the aliens in space. It got canceled. What was that called? Anyways, he's like one of the best parts of the show just because he's so interesting to watch. He's like so dastardly, and like you wonder if in real life he's like a bad guy because he's always the bad guy.
Well, then I'm sure, without a doubt, you will like him in this this series because that's exactly what he's playing. But
Wait,
with
that-
more of an
that
air of
Raised by
mystery.
Raised by Wolves. Thank you. Yes.
More of an air of mystery around him in this one. But yeah, he's doing bad things in this show. All right. That's that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games, hang out with friends and family, rest, relax. You deserve it. Have a wonderful holiday, whatever it is you're celebrating. And if you don't celebrate, have one wonderful time of the year where most things go quiet and you can take it easy for a bit. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
And where